fields, let it out. Get it done, get it right in the fields, let it out. Let it out. Get it done. Get it right in the fields. Let it out. Done. Get it right in the fields. Let it out. Get it done. Get it right in the fields. Let it out.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the UNF 19 live weigh-in show. We are here in Commerce Casino and getting set for the action. TK Todd Keneley, Dustin Gutkowsk, the Schmo at the desk for the moment. More on the way for you, of course. But we hope you all had a happy 4th of July. But I'll tell you what, gentlemen, you can take all the Piccolo Petes, you can take all the Killer Bees, all the Roman candles, and put them into one giant firework, and it wouldn't match the pyrotechnic display of pugilism, easy for me to say, that we're gonna have tomorrow night. Dustin, 17 big fights, 34 fighters chomping at the bit, and it all starts today with the weigh-ins.
Man, I can't wait, and thank you for having me here. Thank you, Schmo, for joining us. This is going to be where the real fireworks are. So we might have had a pregame last night with 4th of July, but I really think tonight's going to be the fireworks. There's some amazing fights going on right now, and I can't wait to get to them.
And Schmo, I got to tell you, the cruel irony of having to weigh in the day after the 4th of July for these guys. No burgers, no dogs for these guys yesterday.
We just celebrated America's 248th birthday. There's still this haze, this fog over Los Angeles, but don't get the Schmo wrong here. It all goes down with all the fireworks tomorrow evening here for UNF 19 at the Commerce Casino.
But you know, with a fireworks show, of course there's the grand finale. But before it gets started, they send up a couple of those test fireworks just to, see what the conditions are like. And you're going to be up there on the stage for the weigh-ins. Do you think we might see some early fireworks and things getting a little chippy?
We got some heavyweights on the line right here in the Rising Stars division for UNF. You never know what you can expect when the big boys are up on stage. A lot of guys have been chopping at the bit to fight. We love these intimate moments on stage to see what these guys are really all about 24 hours before they get into the action locked inside that cage behind us.
Now let's talk briefly about the elephant in the room. The originally scheduled main event was to be a UNF featherweight title rematch between Cisco Rivera and Jesse Strader. Of course, last time out in their first fight, there was an incidental eye poke, called an end to that fight. It was a no contest. UNF did the right thing. They wanted to run it back, but unfortunately, guys, breaking news is Cisco Rivera has had some legal woes rise up. It's made him unable to fight, and for Strader, man, this has got to be very frustrating.
I was really looking forward to that fight, so it's unfortunate. I hope the legal issues aren't too serious, right? Hope he can get those figured out, but you just feel terrible for his opponent. Like, prepared for this fight, wanted to run it back with the accidental eye poke, right? And now he's not going to get that opportunity. So if you are him, what do you do from this? Do you move forward, right? Do you just go to the next opponent, not knowing where this is going to take us? So, unfortunately with that, it's not going to take place, so that is, breaking news. But we hope we can get past this and continue on.
Yeah, Strader can do what he wants here. Obviously, he wanted to show up. He wanted to fight. We didn't get the best ending from the last one with the eye poke situation, but with Strader, this is what you want to do. You're in the driver's seat. Do you want to have this match, or do you want to move forward? Maybe we'll hear from him later on in this show.
Maybe so. I'm told by our producers that Sui Generis may, in fact, be in the house, and it'll be very interesting to get his thoughts on how to call the audible, how to shift, pivot, switch gears. But let's switch gears and talk about the main event that we do have. And in many ways, this fight, I think, was positioned, gentlemen, to steal the show. So now maybe it takes its rightful spot as the main event, as Anthony the Bully Romero takes on Ryan the Lion Lilly. And Lilly, a wealth of experience. This will be his 23rd professional fight, stepping into the cage. But will that be enough to stop what has been an absolute freight train in the Bully?
I don't know, man. Anthony is he's a tough one, and I believe 4-1. And I like Anthony Romero a lot, and I think what he brings. But, with the experience, will that be enough? I don't know, because he's so up and come.
So Ryan the Lion Lilly training with a bunch of killers at the Huntington Beach Ultimate Training Center. The Schmo's seen him doing the grapplings with the Brian T. City Ortegas, the TJ Dillashaws, all the veterans of the mixed martial arts game. And Anthony the Bully Romero, he's going to come forward. He's got that brutality, a clash of styles. Both these guys are not going to be afraid of a fist fight, and that's why we'll have the ultimate fireworks show at this main event, UNF 19.
I can't wait for that. Now, you talk about violence and you talk about the Bully. He has 4 consecutive UNF victories, 3 of them by knockout. And you want to talk about violence. We always go back to it. That absolute war he had with Brian the Heat Dow, one in which we were covered with blood, Schmo, at the end of that fight. Mouthpiece landed on my notes, and camera, if we can get a shot of this. A little memento from that fight. I always keep my fighter notes because I look back at past performances, and I've got some blood-stained notes. I think the mouthpiece landed right about there. There you see the curve. So, and let's take a look back, and let's take a closer look at our main event.
Romero with thunder in both hands, oh my lord!
I don't think he's ever been in a boring fight. He's definitely one of UNF's favorite fighters.
How good does it feel to be a champion? I've always been a champion, fans didn't know yet.
Anthony Romero's been in 4 fights in the UNF cage, and he's gotten either knockout of the night or fight of the night in every single one.
Little souvenir action. We got a mouthpiece here, and somebody's looking for it.
That guy is on the road to the UFC. You cannot deny him.
Anthony Romero! Oh my god!
Like every bully, there's a buster out there. If you're asking me whether Ryan Lilly is the buster, I believe he's a great candidate for it.
Ryan Lilly definitely has a lot to prove. UNF gold is on the line, and I'm sure he really wants to shut everyone up and show them who he really is.
We got a hell of an exchange here.
Ryan Lilly and the bully are going to engage in battle. From the time that bell rings, it's going to be a brawl.
There you take a closer look at what the Schmo called the ultimate fireworks show, and I do believe it's going to be that. It's bully versus lion. It's bully versus bully buster, and as you mentioned during that video, that's a great segue to one of our incredible special guests coming our way.
Jason Mayhem Miller, he's going to be here shortly at the desk, the star of Bully Beatdown. How fitting that the bully in the main event, we're going to have the guy from the king of the Bully Beatdown, Jason Mayhem Miller, right here to break all things down. This guy's seen it all, man. Fighting all over the world, a lot of different experience, getting in the cage with so many different killers. This guy's seen this fight game grow from the very start to where we are now.
And it's really special. I was talking to him before the show just about what UNF brings for these up-and-coming fighters. A lot of times, you know, they didn't have this type of environment coming up as a young fighter, right? And how the times have changed. And it is super fitting that are we bringing back Bully Beatdown tonight with the bully and the main event? I think we are. Can't wait to get him on here and talk to him about what's going on.
And we take a look at Jason Mayhem Miller. He's been here. He's having fun. He's looking sharp. He looks absolutely fantastic. And think about his pedigree, guys. UFC, Strikeforce, WEC, Dream. 23 MMA victories in his decorated career, and then, you know, kind of transcended the sport, as you mentioned, hosted a very popular MTV show, appeared in film as well, and he's been on that entire roller coaster. But that roller coaster is on its way back to a peak. He looks fantastic. We can't wait to hear from Mayhem Miller, but we also have Razor Rob McCullough is going to be in the house. You talk about decorated fighter, Schmo. This guy was a fixture in the worlds of both kickboxing and MMA.
Certainly is, and he fought in the WEC. He had the blue mats there. He's fought a bunch of killers, a veteran, a guy who knows fights, who's been around this fight game. We are blessed, ladies and gentlemen, by having these two individuals with us today for the weigh-in show and watching these great fights that will transpire in this cage behind us at UNF 19.
And what a way to go down memory road. Just talking with Rob before. I mean, he trained with the likes of Tito, Rampage. I mean, just incredible work. I know wars with Cowboy Cerrone back in the WEC days, and it's fun to watch these guys again, because with all the people, just like you said, memory road with. Tito, who else was there? You had Rampage Jackson, that was back in the team punishment days. That's what really actually got me into MMA, was the team punishment days. So to have him here, that's exciting. There he is right there.
There we see a good look at Razor Rob. 19 MMA victories, almost countless kickboxing victories as well. Former WEC lightweight champion, wins over the likes of Corey Hill. He's going to join us right here in the booth as well. But again, 4th of July may be over, but 4th of July weekend continues. The party atmosphere continues. Let's take a closer look. All right, back inside Commerce Casino. Here you see some of the sights, the sounds as we prepare for the weigh-ins. We've been joined by my broadcast partner. We'll be in the booth tomorrow night calling all the action, all 17 fights as the Schmo is repositioned. He's getting ready for the weigh-ins. But Jonathan, there we saw some of what the fighters would do for an end zone touchdown dance. And we'll see if we see some dancing tomorrow in the winner's circle.
Absolutely. You got a quick look at Christopher London. Looked like he was doing a little bit of version of the Icky Shuffle over there. But yeah, I'm really excited. That's one fight I'm really looking forward to see is Carson Dohan versus him. That's going to be a great fight. Christopher London, Dohan, that's going to be a great fight.
Yeah, let's talk more about that. Carson Dohan comes in. You know, I think this, I don't think it's positioned as such, but this certainly could be a contender's fight. Dohan, a perfect 3-0, and he's coming off of a round 2 knockout, of a round 1 submission. This guy has been unstoppable, and he was one of the fighters that I picked to watch, guys, really only because I love to say, don't mess with the Dohan.
Yeah, you know, Carson Dohan, I heard this morning that his nickname is actually Carnage, and that's exactly what this guy brings to the UpNext fighting cage. He is a carnivore. He's coming for meat. He's coming for heads, and he either knocks him out or he chokes you out. He is what I call an equal opportunity ass kicker.
And he just plays no games. I mean, super excited to watch this fight. I think we both picked this fight for one that we wanted to see. And Christopher London, you can see by his video, the one we just played, he's just dancing around, having a good time, and he just looks like somebody that brings a lot of energy, and that's contagious, and I think you see that in his fights, right? He comes in prepared, but he's come in having a good time. I think, you know, Dohan's no games, all business, and up and coming, 2-1 versus 3-0. This one's going to be huge. I picked this one as the fight I want to see the most.
I can't wait to see this one, Jonathan, for a litany of reasons, but London has really turned things around as well. He had a tough time, of course, with Anthony DeSimone. There was bad blood in that fight, but it's the old, what have you done for me lately? He's coming off of a submission victory, and he also had a very impressive TKO victory over Sir Gregor Balkian. Balkian, we know now for that incredible viral spinning back fist knockout, so we've seen just how impressive that win over Balkian was. And what I love, how about in this one, the 6-inch height differential? Is that something that Dohan can overcome?
Well, you know, you heard me say this 1,000 times on the broadcast as we get a look at Christopher London smashing his opponent with a beautiful head kick there on Balkian. You've heard me say this 1,000 times before. You can't teach reach, but you can teach a fighter to fight long. And Christopher London knows how to fight long. So Carson Dohan's going to have to walk through a couple hammers if he wants to get close to the body and bring the fight to the mat. It should be one hell of a Donnybrook.
And what exactly is the? I know you like to throw that term around. Do you know the actual Webster's definition of Donnybrook?
Yeah, actually I do. I lived in Ireland for 3 years, so there was a festival that ended in 1850 in Donnybrook, Ireland, that was known for being such a raucous event that the city commission got together and they absolutely canceled it because so many people were getting hurt. So Donnybrook basically comes from that, but it means an absolute war, a back and forth battle where no fighter gives an inch, and they're looking to take as many inches as they can get, and that always translates to a very entertaining fight. So,
and I think we are going to have a Donnybrook, and it's going to be a rocky road to Dublin for either of these two fighters, because you saw the footage there, Dustin. If you get mounted by London, I mean, he is raining down death from above, just hammer fists, just double hammer fists. I mean, it is a helpless, hapless position. I mean, you saw even the likes of Gregor Balkian couldn't do anything from that position. You don't want to get tied up with London.
You don't want to get tied up with him, but you think that Dohan gets him to the ground. You saw the submission attempts, right? So with the reach, does he use his ground game as the advantage to get him down? But you want to be, obviously careful what position you're in. And so I think what I love about this fight the most is I feel like if it goes anywhere, it's still anyone's game, right? And a lot of times you see fighters, they're strong on their feet. The area of opportunity might be on the ground. But I think both fighters possess the tools to get the job done no matter where the fight goes. And neither one of these guys are going to give up. And both of these guys are going to bring war. And when you get two guys that bring the war, you get a war, right? And this is going to be so much fun to watch. And like I said, this is the fight that I was looking forward to the most, so I can't wait.
Yeah, in London, he's so long. He's got that head kick, too. He's like Dalsum from Street Fighter. He can hit you from anywhere. But we're going to be kicking off the weigh-ins here soon for one of our Rising Stars title fights. But before that, Take a look at this.
Rod Malik is willing this championship into existence. He walks around like he's a champion, he talks like he's a champion, and he trains with champions.
I went down to the gym and saw him spar and train. Really has that anywhere, anytime, any place mentality.
I was sitting cage-side for his first fight. Ryan told me, like, bro, watch this fight.
Oh, he got him, Todd! Drop the kick in the floor, that's gonna be it! Oh my God, Rod Vallee!
I was in awe. I'm very happy and I'm very proud to have him in the UNF cage.
Ryan tried for over a year to get Rod Malik to fight. Nobody has wanted to fight this guy. Byron Vallee is stepping up. He really wants that strap around his waist. He doesn't care that Rod's in his way. He wants to get it.
Now looking for the arm bar.
He is, and
he's got it!
Oh, man!
That's going to be it! Incredible!
Byron just doesn't care. Byron wants to achieve the highest level of the sport. It's why this fight is so compelling.
It's 4th of July weekend, and we're bringing fireworks to Commerce Casino, and that's really because of Rod Malik and Byron Vallee fighting for the UNF Rising Stars Bantamweight Championship. Expect fucking fireworks.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Jonathan King here with Dustin Gutkowsk, and I am here with MMA royalty. I would say MMA royalty. Jason Mayhem Miller. Man, what's going on, brother?
Hey, God bless you guys. Thanks for having me here. It's a fantastic day for a weigh-in. Real hot out there, easy to make weight. I feel like I cut a couple pounds sitting here.
Well, we're going to go to our first weigh-in of the evening, of the day, rather. Rod Malik and Byron Vallee, two guys that we've seen before, Dustin. We know a lot about them. Who do you have in this fight and why?
Man, I think Byron is just incredible, right? And I know Malik is 2-0, but I got a chance to watch 2 of Vallee's fights, and obviously just seeing who he is, I think he brings it. And I don't think there's any quitting him, and not taking away from anything from either fighter, right? This could go either way.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have our first weigh-in of the day. For the vacant Rising Stars Bantamweight title, we have out of the blue corner, coming to weigh in, Byron the Trophy Vallee. $133. And his opponent fighting out of the red corner, coming in to weigh in, we have Rod Malik. $134.4. We got a fight, ladies and gentlemen. And look who we have holding this belt right here. We got the legend, Razor, Rob McCullough. Face off, gentlemen. Face forward. Feel this tension right here. All right, Byron, we're going to start with you, my man. We are a day away from this Rising Stars Bantamweight title. What are your emotions going on right now?
Sure, I'm feeling good, dude. I'm telling you, I'm ready for this fight. This is what I asked for this last fight, so I called for my shot. I got it, so I'm exactly where I need to be.
He called his shot. He's ready. How do you feel at this moment?
Brother, the time for talk is over. I'm ready to kill. Let's fucking go.
There's been a lot of talk. He's ready to kill. What's your final word?
Sure, you better be ready to kill me because I ain't going to go out that easy. I'm coming for your ass.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Your Rising Stars Bantamweight title fight on the line. Back to you.
All right, man. Those guys.
Man, I'm feeling tension, baby. That's a hot one right there.
It certainly is. Now,
it's
Mayhem,
interesting that Malik came in like close to the weight, and Vallee was like, way well under.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting. Like, maybe the weight cut for Malik was going to be more difficult than Vallee. Like, like Vallee is walking around at that natural weight. That might be a factor in, because it takes some energy to cut that weight, and for Vallee to just be looking real comfortable and fully hydrated, getting on the scale at 2 pounds under, that might be a big difference maker in that fight.
Now let me ask you this: when you first get a look, you've had a lot of MMA fights.
Yeah, I had over 50 fights. Yeah.
When you get a first look at weigh-ins of your opponent and you guys lock eyes, what's going through your mind at that moment?
Well, I mean, to be honest, like, look, my hats are off to these guys. You know, I'm so relieved that I get to come to a weigh-in and not make weight. You know, like throughout my career, so many times you get up there. A lot of times you're drained, and like this is the hardest part. That's the hardest part of the game, is to get to this point and then make the weight, because then after everything, the world starts going fast. So you're kind of in like a weird zone of relief, because you just made the weight. So there's a weird tension, emotions of, okay, I'm gonna fight this guy, but I just did the hard part. Oh my God, I'm so relieved. So there's like these like multifaceted feelings coming through. But yeah, there's it looked like my favorite thing right there. Those guys were super focused and determined. Like that's what you want to see. Both guys, and they came out with a little fire underneath them, you know?
Dustin, I got to ask you, I mean, there was a little bit of heat between those two guys, huh?
Yeah, I love that though, right? I love when it's the respectable heat. Like there wasn't any touching going on, some of that stuff. But I like that you're fighting, right? You're getting in a cage with someone who's trying to beat you up, literally. And so I like the fire. I like that. I like that competitiveness. I rely more on the kind of that Michael Jordan, Kobe type of, I don't want to be your friend, right? I might respect you, and at the end of it, we can shake hands and move on, but don't get it twisted, I want to beat you. And I think both of those guys, like you said, they came out ready to bring it. Like,
I think they were like getting danger close. Like if the Schmo like let those guys get a little more talking in, they might have came to blows already. I like that. I think the heat is wearing on them.
Yeah, well, I was going to say is I think we all made weight today, because it is a little hot.
It is a little warm,
But how much did that factor in on the weight cut? You mentioned it. Like, and let's just, if you do have trouble making weight.
Oh, bud, listen. One time I like missed weight a couple pounds in Vegas, and I just put on like a ski jacket and took a jog outside in Vegas. And I remember everybody was looking at me like an insane person. It was before mixed martial arts had really like caught like normalcy. So I'm like outside the Stardust Casino jogging in a ski outfit, you know.
You dated yourself there. I don't even think the Stardust exists anymore.
It's gone. I was sad when I saw they tore it down. I was like, oh, I fought there. Oh, man.
How much does that affect you on fight day, right? Because people don't realize the weight cut, you see that. How much?
It depends, like I've had disasters where you miss weight by a few pounds, and then like you have to like do a full weight cut again. But and these guys might run into those kind of problems. These are early pros, amateur level fighters who are not dialed in where they have their weight cuts to a science yet. But it looks like most of the guys here are professional, and this is a new era in mixed martial arts where people have a lot of information at their fingertips, so that they can disseminate this stuff off the internet, how to cut weight safely and come down and be completely safe about it.
All right, we are set for the next weigh-in. I believe Tommy and Coleman are set to hit the scales. Let's send it up to the Schmo.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, up next we have a catch weight. Weighing in the blue corner, we have Seth, the knife face, Coleman. Good to meet you, my man.
Let's have this moment.
Yeah? Yeah. All right. 141.
They're having a moment.
All right.
Now, I wonder why they call this guy Knife Face. Oh,
and his opponent fighting out of the red corner, we have Tariq Tomei. 139. Yes. Gentlemen, face forward right here.
Yeah, I talked to Seth Coleman at the Fighter Media Day, and he's known as Knife Face for a reason. He got that tattoo after he stabbed someone who beat up his brother, and he wanted to let him know, I'm the guy that got you.
He's definitely a vicious-looking character, I won't say. I don't know how much percentage those tattoos make you tougher, but if they do, he's leveling up.
And when you sit down and talk to him, the tattoos go out. He's soft-spoken, very quiet-mannered, very, very different than his appearance.
All right, Tarek, all serious now. He's telling you not to laugh. You're all business. What's going through your mind right now?
Just looking forward to getting in there, knocking the tattoos off his face. This guy said he's going to fight again in 2 weeks and fight in 6 more fights this year. He thinks he's Khamzat Chimaev or something. I'm going to show him something different.
Well, Khamzat Chimaev hasn't been too active recently.
That's true. That's a good point. So bad reference, but in the past, you know.
Okay. Final prediction. When do you take this guy out? What round?
Man, you know, I think it's going to, let's say second round, baby.
All right, second round. All right, Knife Face, you heard the guy. He's all telling you that what he's going to do to you. Second round, everything like that. You're smiling, tell him not to laugh. What's going through your mind?
I really liked what you had to say just then. I could tell you worked hard on it. I want you to say it again without sounding scared. We can try it again, like if you want to.
I got nothing more to say to you, buddy.
That's like 80s movie shit. That's probably why you're here, that daddy money. I mean, like, we'll fight. I'll probably knock you out. I saw you shadowboxing. Let's go.
My daddy's got a lot more money than your daddy, I'll tell you that. I love my father. Tomei, the original Lebanese lion. Lebanese lion 2.0 right here. Let's go.
All right, guys, we'll all see how this plays out. Back to you guys at the desk.
Wow.
You know, Tomei's father was a Lebanese boxer back in Lebanon. I know his family is not a fan of him fighting, but he does come from a fighting pedigree. His father was a well-known boxer in Lebanon, so let's see if the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree.
Well, that's very surprising. So, father's a famous boxer and doesn't want his son to do mixed martial arts?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. The Schmo, hats off to him. He really cooked those guys up, man. These fights are going to be fantastically exciting. Every weigh-in becomes more and more. I'm getting fired up.
Now, Mayhem, let me ask you this. Dustin and I have been, at UpNext for a long time now, so we know what the promotion's all about. You're now working with these young fighters, Fight Science, Karin Darabedi, and MMA. What's the word on the street about UpNext fighting with the young fighters and the coaches themselves?
Look, I got to tell you, UpNext fighting has really carved out a niche here, especially in the Los Angeles area, the greater Los Angeles area, that has got the kids real fired up about wanting to be in this league, and I take my hats off to them because it's like that's what particularly in the lighter weight classes, that's what's going on. Everybody is looking as this as their next jumping off point, and I'm proud. I'm proud to be here, and I'm proud to work with those guys that want to get into here because there's a network of the lighter weight classes that are just becoming the newest thing, the hottest thing.
Also, too, you came up, your rise in MMA, and you didn't have this. How much do you think that this helps prepare you for that level? Because, look, this is the bright lights. This is a big stage. You're doing you're going through the whole motions. And I just remember, back in the day, you didn't have this, and it wasn't its forefront. So how much do you think it prepares you for that?
Well, I think what's interesting about this and why UpNext is very successful is because they have, simplified the entire promotional process. It looks like to me that the guys are getting very good quality photos, good promotion, the social media things are dialed in, and UpNext Fighting has become its own pathway to become a star.
Now, Mayhem, you yourself, you pretty much carved your own path in mixed martial arts.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because
you used to go into gyms and challenge people to fights because you didn't have this kind of
I know.
promotion.
I was begging for something like this back when I was a kid because it plucks dudes from different gyms and just throws them right together, has a schmo make them angry at each other, and then they get in there. It's in my era we didn't have the network, the pipeline that we do today, and so I'm very I'm happy to be a part of it. It's going to be a wild night tomorrow.
How much? You had a very successful show on MTV. That was, by the way, great show. We need to bring
Excellent
it back.
Show.
Right?
Excellent show.
Everybody loved Bully Beatdown.
And I think we need something with it because you see all these people online talking the noise behind the keyboard, right? But for you, the times have changed as far as social media from TV, right? And as you can give advice to these, young and up-and-coming fighters, as far as the media goes, because you did it on TV, right? Which was before the social media era. Which kind of advice would you give them to help
don't
build
get me
the
wrong.
brand?
We had social media. It was just called MySpace. So,
top 8. I would have put you in my top 8.
Were you one of Tom's friends? Yeah, I was definitely Tom's friend. But no, I say that all the fighters should be authentic. I have a very specific personality, and each individual fighter does. And really, you see it throughout the organizations. The guys that will rise up to the top are good at fighting, but also will let their true self shine through in the moments where the lights are bright and the interview is on them and they have a moment to say something. That's how you catch fans. That's how you get people's heart invested in you, is you be authentic, who you really are, whoever that is. And because people can smell out bullshit. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's one of the things I always tell our team is be you, everyone else is taken, right? And you always want to be unapologetically yourself. Because,
I like that. That's nice.
It is, because you want to see it. And I think that's right, wrong, or indifferent. When you see who you truly are out there, you're going to create fans, because people can't sniff out when you're unauthentic and it seems forced. And I believe, just like money, social media doesn't change you, it exposes you, right? So when you're putting yourself out there, but it's a great time because you can become a star, obviously, inside the ring, which you have to be great at fighting, but you have to push the social media and push who you are out there, because that's what people want to see as well. That's how they become a fan.
All right, we got a video coming up. We got fighters sending messages to their opponents. This should be very interesting.
Oh, wow.
Respectfully, I'm coming to kill you. You're gonna be drowning in your own blood, and I hope you're ready. His nickname's Knife Face. My friends think he looks scary, but I'm ready to face him on July 6th, and may the best man win.
You seem like a nice guy. You're working in tech. I'm glad you're trying this out, but tech is probably your business. Leave the fighting to the pros.
We're here to fight, so let's have a great fight. Let's go out there, put on a show for the UpNext fans, and do it up.
Good luck. I'm gonna do everything I can to really take your head off.
Just show up and I'll take care of the rest.
I ain't losing in front of my family, so you better be prepared to die.
All the best luck to you, brother. See you July 6th. May the best man win.
He's gonna be going to sleep. Good luck, wish you a good camp, and I'll see you July 6th.
We are back, and we are with Chad Fishburne, the ring announcer. And look, I want to get announced one time at least. Can we make that happen, please?
I feel like we can,
I
yes.
appreciate that, but please not against this guy.
No, that would actually be kind of rad, just, announcing this right here. Yeah, I actually thought that at some point in time, somebody was going to have to announce that, because I thought I was actually going to get in trouble with Mayhem. Yeah. He's not even going to remember this. You're not even going to remember this.
Oh, you're going to spam me right now with some, what?
No, and it was all me. Just, you were totally cool. It was all me being worried about the situation, but this goes all the way back to Atlanta, when you were training in Atlanta.
That happens,
about 15, 20 years ago.
All right.
I was in a class, and my guy was over here working out. So we were doing low kick drill on a bag, and it was tag team. One person kicks, then the next person kicks.
All right, this is familiar to me.
I was moving the bag, and the instructor stopped, and they were like, "No, this is not going to work." And they motioned to you, and you started to walk over, and I'm like, "Oh shit!"
Oh, we had to go drills.
It was drills, but
I remember you.
I thought
right,
I was in trouble.
Keep going.
Yeah. I thought it was in trouble.
Yeah.
You were walking over, and I'm like, "Am I going to find out why they call him Mayhem right now?"
Yeah.
And so, no, you and I did a bag drill together, but I was worried because I thought you were going to whoop my ass.
Come on, bud. Listen here, man. I'm a good training partner. Ask around.
No, it was wonderful. And that is my my Mayhem moment.
Man, you had me nervous. Like,
no,
did I just kill this guy in Atlanta? And he's here to get his comeuppance?
I had to do leg surgery. No, he did not. No, you were a perfect gentleman and an amazing partner.
Okay. Yeah,
training
come
partner.
on, man. I coach the kids these days.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Speaking of perfect gentlemen, did you not just hear the videos that they sent, the 4th of July videos? There was a pretty intense one.
Those 4th of July videos were vicious. I can't believe we didn't say anything about them. Yeah, those guys are. I don't know what you're feeding. Are you feeding those guys gunpowder in the back before they do these promos?
Fireworks.
Oh my God!
Instead of creatine, they put gunpowder in their smoothies.
I see that.
What kind of message would you have sent?
I don't know. I always did my promos pretty funny. I always came at it with a respectful tone to the guy, but also, no, I'm gonna eat your lunch, buddy, you know. But, like, I don't know. It's been a while since I cut one of those, like, mean promos. So hats off to those dudes. That was really nice to hear.
I thought we were going to have a whole different promo because I thought he was going to come over here and say you kicked him instead of the bag or something. So
I know, yeah, me too, bro. That story was a letdown, bro. Come on, man.
I was, you know, it was a good training partner.
You could have just said, yeah, me and him trained together one time.
No, it lasted, and that is my story because it lasted for about 30 seconds. But when you were walking over, I really was like, oh God.
Oh yeah.
Please be with me. I said a little prayer, just because I wanted to make sure I didn't upset him.
Yeah, let's roll.
Look,
so then
we're going to have a schmoment, and we're going to the next weigh-in.
Ladies and gentlemen, up next to weigh in out of the blue corner, it's going to be a lightweight belt. We got Axel Conrad. $152.8. And his opponent, out of the red corner, we have Mr. Nasty, Matthew Nestor. 154.8. Face forward, gentlemen. Face forward. Stoic. Dialed. Face forward.
I'm really looking forward to this one. This was the second fight on the card that I had picked outside because I've actually got to watch these guys fight a few times, and it's just I like what they bring, and every time they bring it. And Conrad, he just great fight, great personalities. I can't wait. We're gonna go to the Schmo.
All right, we're here with Mr. Nasty. Mr. Nasty, you just faced off with your opponent. You're accustomed to the cage right there at UNF. What are the emotions going through your mind right now?
I'm just excited, man. Like, I fought in March, didn't go my way, so, you know, I'm just ready to get back in there.
Axel, you're looking to taste that victorious feeling. What is going through your mind right now?
First and foremost, I would just like to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for, you know, giving me the opportunity to come out here and perform tomorrow night and showcase my skills and how much I've been busting my ass, you know. Just, it's good, you know.
And what are you looking forward to showcasing inside the UNF cage tomorrow evening?
You know, the plan is victory. You know, we'll see what happens. It's a fight. He's a worthy adversary and a skillful fighter, but I train with the best team, you know, and I've been busting my ass, honing my boxing and jiu-jitsu, and I'm a well-rounded fighter, so, you know, we'll see what's up. And I'm coming. I just can say that every time I come to fight, I'm a real fighter, you know. I'm gonna, you're not gonna take me out easy. I'm coming. I bust my ass, you know.
Well, best of luck to you, Axel. Mr. Nasty, I'll let you get the last word. How do you predict yourself being victorious inside the UNF cage tomorrow evening?
I don't see any certain way. I'm gonna make it happen, man. It's just gonna happen. That's it.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Both confident dudes right here at the stage. Guys at the desk, back to you.
Mr. Nasty. I think if my nickname was Mr. Nasty, I would just introduce myself that way all the time. Hello, I'm Mr. Nasty.
Mr. Nasty. I don't know what the betting line is. Mr. Nasty came in, just short of the weigh-in, you know, just under the weight, and he looks pretty big, you know, and looks like he's really dehydrated right now. He's going to be, man, he's going to be pumped back up when he gets in that cage, you know, and then Conrad was come in underneath the weight. So it's one of those weird things where one of those dudes is going to be a lot bigger tomorrow night.
How much weight did you used to have to cut?
But I don't know. Like I would try to like cut the day of 10 pounds, but you know sometimes didn't work out. I had to do 22.
22 in one day?
Yeah, on a short notice fight one time. That's my record. That's like the extreme example, you know.
Did you need an IV after that?
Oh yeah, whatever you could get, man. IV, elemental P. Yeah. So.
Whatever you can get. So what's going on besides? I know you said training people, training.
Buddy,
kids.
I'm on this weird podcast circuit where nonstop everybody's just paying me to come on their freaking podcast. I'm like, all right, well, I'll give you my expertise, but give me money. and it's working out. And then the rest of my time is spent with coaching. I coach from little kids, all right, to professional fighters. So, and everyone in between. So anybody who's like wants to learn martial arts from a lifelong martial artist, I'm happy to hand that information out. And it's just a constant new evolution of mayhem. Television projects that I got in the works is like another. It's like this new grind set, mindset, hustle economy kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell the alpha influencers are talking about, but yeah, this is pretty difficult. You just got to keep constantly with your phone all the time, not just on the toilet. It's a weird, it's a weird new life where we're all cybernetic organisms. Oh man, I can't wait to see this next weigh-in.
So next we have Farnsworth for the weigh-in and Jordan. Schmo.
Ladies and gentlemen, up next to weigh in for UNF 19, out of the blue corner, we have Jaleel Jordan. $154.2. And his opponent out of the red corner, Brendan Farnsworth, had a family emergency. He can't be here. He will be fighting tomorrow evening. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. But let's talk to Jaleel. Jaleel, come on in here real quick, my man. Weighing in professional, 154.2. What are your emotions going on right now?
Honestly, I'm just like very zen, just collected in the moment and just chilling, honestly, yeah.
How would you describe your fighting style for those who haven't seen you fight before?
I'm very I would say very decisive with my striking. I like to pick my shots. It's just more or less making sure my knees are bent and just moving my head for sure.
Does it feel a little different for you that you don't get to face off with your opponent like the other guys do?
Nah, it's cool. It's still another day, another dollar. He's going to have to beat her tomorrow. All respect. I hope everything's all right with him, so we'll see how it goes tomorrow.
How do you get the job done inside that cage across from us tomorrow evening here at the Commerce?
Keep it on the feet. He's a jiu-jitsu guy. Just go from there and see what he's got in store.
Best of luck to you tomorrow evening. Guys at the desk, back to you.
So, jiu-jitsu guy, and we're thinking about, we got two different games coming into it, so I think it's shaping up nicely.
I think Farnsworth is a real beast. I feel like we got some footage of him. He's one of those guys. Jaquil Jordan's kind of one of those journeymen, and Brendan Farnsworth is, man, he's a prospect. He's a prospect.
Yeah,
Look here, he's a nice takedown, pass into the mount position, classic jiu-jitsu stuff. Look at this, triangle locked straight up, man.
I hope everything's okay with his family. Obviously, the family emergency, and still fighting tomorrow, right? Like that's
this early
incredible.
in his career to be like tapping guys out with the triangle. It's something else. This Farnsworth kid's somebody to watch.
What was your favorite submission to use overall?
Oh, well, I mean, it depends. Like in the era, like it's funny. Like when I was like early in my career, I was kind of like this guy who just brawl with you and hope that we went to the ground. Because I knew a lot of jiu-jitsu. To me, we had redneck jiu-jitsu where I came from. Just like we called it wrestling, and a triangle choke was just a modified leg scissors, and so that was my favorite when I was like real young. I would just brawl with guys. But then as time went on, I got my $1 million choke, which is the Sakuraba like head and arm choke, and that one, you can get that one from everywhere, so that was my favorite. It's a safe one. As you ascend to the higher and higher levels, it's more difficult to hit these triangles and more like arm bars. It's more difficult to do like these low percentage techniques. You got to get like these high percentage ones where the guy's not going to slip out. Rear naked choke, arm triangle, guillotine, these like more safe where if you lose them, at least you're not on your back falling down.
What would you say, like somebody, you said you're training early age kids, right? For somebody, a parent or somebody wanting to get into MMA, what would you say would be the best to start with?
Well, the classic response to this question is jiu-jitsu, and there's a reason for that, because it kind of encapsulates wrestling a bit. but also has some more self-defense elements to it. And it really depends on what school that you take your child to. I think that martial arts in general, the striking arts particularly, are kind of dangerous for very young kids until they get a real feel for their body. So I recommend jiu-jitsu or wrestling early on in their career so that they can get a feel for their body before you move them on to something that requires possible head trauma. Oh, God bless. And here we go. What? Schmo's got another weigh-in for us already. The main event.
This is the main event.
Ooh, yeah, buddy. You guys know about these guys?
The real deal.
Man,
Ladies and gentlemen, weighing in next, we have the main event of the evening. We have the UNF Bantamweight title here, held by the OG, the legend, Razor Rob McCullough. Weighing in first, out of the blue corner, we have Ryan, the Lion, Lilly. 140 pounds. And his opponent, weighing in out of the red corner, the champion, the bully, Anthony Romero. $140 pounds.
Here, I have it on good authority that Ryan Lilly is a fantastic Thai boxer, a good all-around fighter, and this Anthony Romero is, one of those guys who's just coming up. And can Ryan Lilly's experience overcome Romero's youth? We'll see.
You can't make 135. You're
made less than you.
I'm gonna retire you.
Freshman, I'm a senior.
Get your hands off me, buddy.
I'll say you.
Get your hands off me.
Okay.
I'm gonna retire you, buddy.
Okay, let's
It's
go.
your last fight ever.
Okay.
All right, guys, face forward. Face forward.
Get your little ass. Boy's little
More
as fuck.
dehydrated than I am.
Little.
More dehydrated.
You weigh 137. I was 39.
Yeah, 137, 139.
What'd you ask for? What'd you ask for 140 for then? You're lazy.
I'm the champ. I'm the champ.
You're lazy. You're running, trying to play games. I'm gonna knock your bitch ass out.
All right.
Make the rules. Okay, coach.
All right, he's upset right now. What's going through your mind, the Lion?
He's a freshman. I'm the senior. I'm going to bully this kid all around my ring tomorrow.
How do you get the job done tomorrow by bullying?
I'm going to finish, man. I don't see it going to decision. I don't like the judges anyways. So.
All right. Well, there you have it. Some bad blood between the guys. Bully, let me get you in here right here.
Ain't no bad luck. I'm gonna knock your bitch ass out. I'm gonna knock your bitch ass out. That's why. That's why, buddy. Couldn't even make 35. I ain't touching your shit. Make 35 next time, buddy.
All right, we got all the heat we want.
I gave this guy multiple opportunities. Make 35. Months ago, we said make 35. He said, I'll make weight, blah, blah, blah. Nothing. We've been on his ass. He's a bum, man. This ain't no professional. He ain't no professional. I'm a real professional. I came here at 10 a.m. riding the dots to be here. I'm a champ. He's trying to play games, be here late and shit. You this ain't no fucking game, dude. I'm gonna beat your fucking ass tomorrow.
Hey, the 4th of July continues. The fireworks go down in that cage. That's your main event, ladies and gentlemen. Guys at the desk, Mayhem, I see you smiling. Back to you.
Fired up, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Some UNF fireworks tomorrow. That right there. Look, he made some valid points, wrapped in a lot of profanity, but valid points. We want to make some weight here, guys.
It's not a children's show, so it'll be okay. But for you as a fighter, right? So guy comes in overweight or can't make the weight.
Yeah.
Is it disrespect? Do you take it as disrespect?
Yeah, in a way, yeah. It's kind of disrespect to the whole thing. I've done it myself before. Yeah, it's like you're, not showing respect to the fans, not showing respect to anybody. You're being the bad guy. So, maybe that's what he wants.
Is it also, too, some mind games? Is there mind games played with that?
I think so. It's part of it for sure.
Yeah, and you see that if you get the fight, but also, too, and then on the flip side of that, right, we're going, if you truly can't make the weight, let's say you agree to the fight, but something comes up early in the fight and you can't make it, is there something to be said about protecting yourself?
I mean, that certainly happens, yeah. Look, you can go to kidney shutdown and you can really hurt yourself with the weight cut.
Yeah.
So, maybe better safe than sorry. And if they let the event continue, then by all means, we got it.
Look, we're going to go to a video for this main event. I appreciate you guys stopping by here. Thank you so much.
Thanks for
man.
having me, brother.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
And thank you for everything that's you guys have done. Thank you for what you've done for the sport. And I know you said a lot coming on. We appreciate and look forward to what you have.
You must be talking to him.
I'll talk about
God
my
bless you
announcement.
guys, man. You guys are the greatest. Thanks a lot.
I don't think he's ever been in a boring fight. He's definitely one of UNF's fan favorite fighters.
How good does it feel to be a champion? I've always been the champion, and I know yet.
Anthony Romero's been in 4 fights in the UNF cage, and he's gotten either knockout of the night or fight of the night in every single one.
Little souvenir action. We got a mouthpiece here, and somebody's looking for it.
That guy is on the road to the UFC. You cannot deny him.
Anthony Romero! Oh my God!
Like every bully, there's a buster out there. If you're asking me whether Ryan Lilly is the buster, I believe he's a great candidate for it.
Ryan Lilly definitely has a lot to prove. UNF gold is on the line, and I'm sure he really wants to shut everyone up and show them who he really is.
We got a hell of an exchange here.
Ryan Lilly and the bully are going to engage in battle. From the time that bell rings, it's going to be a brawl.
All right, guys, we are joined. We had Jason Mayhem Miller and the hits keep coming. Razor, Rob McCullough, welcome to Up Next Fighting. Welcome to the live weigh-in show. Now, you were up there for all the fireworks between Anthony Romero and Ryan Lilly. Did you feel like you were going to have to come out of retirement and keep those two apart?
I felt like it was going to be a heated one. This is going to be a good fight tonight. Yeah.
So a lot of discrepancy, on the weight coming in for, what would have been a, title fight and guys chipping back and forth. And I think it's funny, because Ryan Lilly at one time, Dustin, in his fight with Jesse Strader, was talking about making weight and was sitting there eating strawberries at weigh-ins, and poking the bear. So it's that whole mental game of chess going on.
I felt like it was a lot of mental games. I looked at just the way he's carrying it. It feels like it's a mental game to Anthony. And then it's not a title fight now, right? And so to me, it looked personal to Anthony. And it looked really personal, like he had been disrespected. And I thought it was going to be, he touched him, but I thought it was going to come to blows up there. Anthony feels like he was super disrespected. He's almost taking it personal. And then for him to even continue to take the fight, right? Because, the guy's not going to make weight. You're not fighting at the agreed upon weight, and you still take this fight. And as the main event, I feel like Anthony's coming out there to hurt him. But Ryan looked cool, calm, and collected, like he was ready for it. So I can't wait for that one.
And I got to ask you, Rob, you're a great veteran, incredible winning streak in kickboxing and 19 MMA victories, and no stranger to a main event. Do you think these guys now with Cisco's issues and now they're being skyrocketed up to that main event, is that added pressure or is that just more gas on the fire?
I think that can be more gas on the fire for these guys. They're excited. It's a big event. The cameras are on, the lights are up, so I think this will hopefully pull out the best of them.
And if I can ask you this quickly as well, Ryan the Lion Lilly, was a little bit more composed there. He's got 17 more fights than Anthony Romero. Do you think Romero can overcome that expertise, that experience advantage that Lilly has?
Yeah, the time will tell, but when you get the veteran in this game, it's, there's a lot of energy expenditure that you use when you first start and you're coming out the gate, and as a veteran, you can hopefully you can foresee stuff and not waste a bunch of energy and get the sub or get the KO you're looking for.
There you have it. Romero hot on the color, and it is hot here. And our next weigh-in is standing by, Caseras, Sadine.
Thanks, guys. Up next to the UNF scale in the bantamweight division, fighting out of the blue corner, we have Sammy Caseras. 135. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, Yasin Sadine. 129.4. Gentlemen, face forward. Face forward. All right, my man, what's going through your mind right now before you step inside that cage tomorrow evening?
Food, nothing, just fight and get ready to do what I'm supposed to do. I signed the contract, and that's it.
What are you going to eat? You said food. That was the first thing that came out of your mouth.
I don't know, man. Whatever my mom has in stock for me, you know? That's how it is.
Mom's cooking does best. My man, you're cool, calm, collected. Those sunglasses haven't come off all morning. What's going through your mind right now?
My future bright.
There it is. Your future's bright. And how do you get the job done tomorrow evening?
However I feel like it.
Love the confidence. Guys at the desk, back to you.
All right, thanks, Schmo. And there we see it. And Dustin, we've seen Brown Sugar Sammy in action before. He comes in with a 4-4, 500 record. And, a lot of those wins by decisions. But Sadine, his 2 victories, both by knockout, both in the very first round. So we'll see who was able to execute their game plan more effectively.
Yeah, what was the weight difference on that? I heard the weigh-ins. Well, there's a pretty big difference.
Pretty big discrepancy there. I think scheduled it at 130 and came in at 140.
Yeah, it came in, a little bit over. So I wonder how much that takes advantage. I know that could be a huge thing when you're talking about that. But they both look cool, calm, and collected. I agree. Mama's food is the best. That actually got me a little hungry. So I can't imagine what he's going through at the weigh-in.
And here we're taking a look at some of the action from Brown Sugar Sammy, and you can see that, certainly some striking ability in his own right, and going to work, and no stranger to the UNF cage, so he'll feel right at home here at UNF 19. We'll see if he can get past that 500 record. And again, I talked about earlier, Razor Rob, that what a hell of a day to weigh in. You get some guys coming in over, but yesterday was the 4th of July. Any surprise there with all the barbecues, the grilling going on?
Well, I mean, if you're going to do this for a living, you're going to be a pro at it. You got to. I always say I paid to get cutting the weight. The fight part was the fun part. So if you're looking at it like that, hopefully you're going to keep this going. Definitely could be a huge distraction with everybody coming over and barbecues, but shouldn't distract those that are trying to win.
There you have it, and we're going to head back to the Schmo and the stage for our next weigh-in.
Ladies and gentlemen, up next in the welterweight division, out of the blue corner, we have Ben Alvarado. 171.6. And his opponent, out of the red corner, Anthony Vardumian. 174.2. Face forward, gentlemen. Right to the center, no touching. Let's get close. Right in the middle.
You can see the tension here.
Look me in the eyes. I see fear.
Okay,
I see fear.
Okay, you're all jittery now, bro.
Let's go.
Face forward. Face forward, guys.
This looks like it's going to be a scrap.
Oh, yeah. He cut the tension with a knife.
All right, Anthony, I'm going to start with you, man. What do you sense in your opponent's eyes facing forward? You're coming forward, man. You're ready to go right toe-to-toe, nose-to-nose.
It's a scrap. I see fear in his eyes, man. It's his first fight. It's going to be his last fight. He's not going to want to fight after this. I promise you that. I promise you.
What are you going to do to him inside the cage?
I'm going to finish him, whatever it takes, but I'm going for that finish. He's not going to make it out alive.
All right, my man, you heard it from him. He's going to finish you, he claims. Yeah, what are you going to do about that?
It's a little sus, but I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, man, we'll see tomorrow, bro. Less than 24 hours. Let's go.
What keeps you so cool, calm, collected, man? You would think this is like your 10th fight right here.
Nah, man. It's my first one, but, glory to God. I'm good right now. I feel comfortable in my heart, and I know he's going to bring it tomorrow, so am I. So, it is what it is. There's no more talking to do, so,
Well, best of luck to you tomorrow, my man. Best of luck to you tomorrow. Guys at the desk, back to you.
And Ben Alvarado, cool, calm, and collected, as Schmo said. This guy's a filmmaker. He's a photographer, cinematographer, so he's looking to film his next masterpiece tomorrow. But how about Anthony Vardumian? The kid is only 19 years old, Rob, and he's had some fights drop out. He is chomping at the bit. He is fired up, ready to get in that cage.
He looks hungry, that's for sure.
Yeah, they for both being their pro debuts, they look like they were not only ready to go, right, eager, but they both had this cool, calm presence like they had been here before, that they've done this before, even though it's their debut. And I didn't even realize that was their debut until now. But look, there's some energy over there, but he couldn't rattle Ben. He just looked so calm up there and almost went with it. And I feel like that can be such an advantage when someone's in your ear or trying to hype you up and you're able to deflect it and able to stay calm in that. It's like when they go low, you stay high. And he looks like he's ready to go. He's prepared for what's going to be thrown at him. And it's fun to see both of these guys make their debut together. Who's going to come out with that dub?
Yeah, and again, the 19-year-old out of KD MMA is a jiu-jitsu blue belt. But yeah, for Alvarado, water off the back, like the sweat off my brow. I feel like I'm cutting weight for tomorrow's broadcast. And then let's segue to the pros and someone who is no stranger to the UpNext cage. He scored some big victories, talking about dangerous Devin Brock. And we're going to take a closer look at Devin Brock. And guys, here is somebody that I think consistency has maybe been his only problem. He's got all the tools, all the intangibles, and has victories over the likes of Christopher Taco Padilla, who we just saw victorious in the UFC cage. So we'll see if Brock can continue to put it all together. But Rob, thoughts on just some of the action that you're seeing here from the dangerous one?
He looks pretty complete as a fighter. He's got takedowns, solid striking. It looks like it's going to be a great matchup.
And at 11-6, he's got the experience. And for Rob, for you, we talked about consistency, right? How much did the consistency of you staying training? You made an interesting comment. You got paid to cut weight, right? The fighting was for fun. How important was it for you to stay consistent on all those things?
You gain so much momentum when you're there and you're in the gym. You're either training for a fight or you're training with partners that are getting ready for fights. So when you're consistent, that's easier to cut the weight. It's easier mentally because you're already there. You pick up some little moves, and when it's fun in the gym is when you start to really like resonate movements and start picking up techniques.
I bet it was fun for you coming up in the gym. I mean, you had an incredible partners in your corner. Tito Ortiz, Quentin Rampage. Who else was in there with you guys when you were coming up with Team Punishment?
Oh, man. There was a picture, and I didn't even realize it, and it was Rico Rodriguez, who ended up being the UFC heavyweight champ. Fabiano Iha, he was like the king of armbars at the time. We had Tito Ortiz. We had Quentin Rampage Jackson, Colin Oyama. I mean, the list goes on.
I bet you there's some stories you could tell, but you probably can't tell on the show.
Yeah, that would be another show.
And Colin Oyama and Team Oyama have had many fighters on UpNext shows and many wins. But I got to ask you, just mentioned all those names and faces, and a lot of guys, they were instrumental in putting the sport of MMA on the map here in Southern California, which is often known as kind of one of those original hotbeds. What was it like being part of, in essence, the Wild West in those pioneer days of the sport?
Man, it was fun, and you look back now and you go, whoa, how did that? It went by so fast. And Tito kept telling me, I'm telling you, bro, because I was just doing stand-up. I was doing Muay Thai, and he's like, this is going to be the sport of the future, man. This is going to be the sport of the future. Get a couple fights in the cage, I'm telling you. I was like, well, I just read that book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and I'm like, well, I want to buy a house one day. And so I was like, all right, we'll venture in. I'll see if I can do some stuff in the cage too. And it's addicting, and thank God it became the sport of the future.
Absolutely, and this is the future of the fight game as we head back to the stage for our next weigh-in.
Up next, we have the Schmo's favorite weight division, a catch weight of 165 pounds. In the blue corner, we have Devin Dangerous Brock. 164.2. And his opponent, coming in out of the red corner, Jose Estrada. 158.
Looking fresh with the watch and the jewelry.
All right, what are you looking at right now, my man?
Just looking at the opponent right in front of me that, he's going to be across from me tomorrow night. And, we know we both got to do. We know what the stakes are at now, due to somebody coming overweight. But it is what it is. I'm glad he's here. I'm glad I get a fight. And I'm glad he took this, I'm glad for this opportunity to fight for UNF, and I appreciate you stepping up, bro.
What do you think about that, Dangerous?
I appreciate it, man. He's a professional. I appreciate you for being a professional at the end of the day, and I appreciate you for taking that fight, man. Let's go in there and show the world a good show.
All respect out of you guys. How do you steal the fireworks show tomorrow evening? UNF 19.
Well, I know Devin likes to throw bombs. I like to throw bombs. We know what type of fighters we are, and, I think we should be the main event at the end of the night, and, we'll make it happen tomorrow night, bro.
That's what I'm talking about. Yes, sir. Hell yeah, I like it.
We're not talking about sparklers. We're talking about mortars. It's 4th of July, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Big mortars. You know how we do it. We throw those big mortars up, even though we're not supposed to, but we're going to do it tomorrow night.
All right, there it is, guys. Back to you at the desk.
Although a lot of respect here in the weigh-in, I think that might get thrown squarely out the window. And there's a lot of fights that are looking to be the grand finale of the fireworks show, and this one no different. And guys, it certainly could, as both fighters have 4 knockout victories under their belt. But for Jose Estrada, we know Brock here very well in UNF, but Estrada, Froggy Estrada, as if to say, you feeling froggy, jump.
Yeah.
This guy's dangerous everywhere.
And both these guys are super experienced, right? They bring a ton of experience to the cage. You like the respect, but you know that they're going to bring those bombs, for the 4th of July reference. And so I think with just such a stacked card, you're going to see fighters elevate their game because everybody wants to be the fight of night on this card. And there's a lot of fights that have the opportunity to do that. So I think you're going to see that elevate. You even saw we should be the main event. I think that's the kind of feeling. You got a lot of guys out there that want to be the main event. They want to be the star of the show. And so we're going to see that in the fights. And I think this is going to be one of the most electric cards that we're ever going to see for fights like this. Like, both of these guys are ready to go. They took the fight. There's going to be no games played.
Yeah, and I got to ask you, Razor, for dangerous Devin Brock, 4 knockouts, he's 7 submission victories, never put anybody away on the ground. His opponent, Estrada, a couple submission wins. Both these guys can throw bombs, but do you think Froggy maybe will try and get this thing to the ground?
I think everybody wants to put on a great show, but when push comes to shove and you start throwing, if you got a takedown, you got some subs in you. It's always kind of fun. You can use that grappling though to set up the striking. So I mean, it's going to be interesting to watch. It's going to be a good one, you can tell though.
Did ever in your fights though, when you were trying to impress the fans, did some of your tactics, did that play into it? Like, if you knew you had a big moment, right? Because you go to the ground, maybe the fans don't want to see you go to the ground when you're trying to have a striking fight. Did that ever cross your mind in the middle of a fight? Like, you know what, I should take this guy to the ground, but I'm not going to?
Yeah, I mean, coming out, it turns into mind games, right? Coming out and warming up, right out, they're calling out people's names, they're standing there, we're looking at each other. I'd start doing I was taking shots, like I was gonna take him down.
Yeah.
Just so the guy's looking at me going, I thought he was a stand-up dude. Now he's gonna try to take me down. And then that's playing in the back of their head, hopefully.
Yeah, I love that. Playing the mind games all the way up to the moment, because you just heard that on the big card with Pereira. He said during the warm-ups on the video, he saw Jair lowering his hand when he was checking kicks. That's why he went to the high kick. So obviously that does work.
Yeah, I mean, it's something they're going to remember.
It's that perennial human game of chess. It's move and counter move. And this one could, really have big implications in the title picture. You have 2 battle-tested veterans in the professional ranks in the lightweight division. And for Brock, he's coming off of a big victory over DC Darian Chapman, a guy that there was a lot of parity, they had a lot of parallels, got that win. If he can get the win here, who knows? Either way, they could propel themselves into title competition. And so much more to go. And again, if you've got to take this moment. If there are seats left, they're probably few. But also, you can also join us tomorrow on Starfund. Stream the entire pay-per-view, all 17 fights. Myself, Jonathan King, will be calling the action live. And you do not want to miss all those fireworks. So go to starfundstream.com. You can watch the show live tomorrow if this weigh-in show has been whetting your appetite. But let's keep this thing rolling and head up to the stage. Guzman Sessions are weighing in next.
Ladies and gentlemen, up next we have a flyweight belt. Weighing in out of the blue corner, we have Miguel Guzman. 123.8. And his opponent out of the red corner, Cody Sessions. 124.6. Gentlemen, face off right here. Face forward.
Got two guys with a great kickboxing pedigree. Could see some great stand-up action here. Cody Sessions out of Squirrel Muay Thai and taking on Miguel Guzman, who can turn your lights out in a hurry as well.
All right, Miguel, you just faced off with your opponent. We know how electrifying you can be inside that cage. What's going through your mind right now?
Shoot, I'm just trying to say chill, relax, and then be ready for tomorrow. Time to show up,
Beard's looking good.
Thank you. I got a little bit of the ginger, you feel me?
There it is. Cody, what's going through your mind right now before you take on this man inside that cage tomorrow evening?
We just do the damn thing. I think we both came here to get busy. We know of each other. I know of his camp. His striking coach, I think one of his head coaches has already asked me for help for him in the past, but that I wasn't able to go through. I know his coach as well. I think they know of me. I know of him. He's not undefeated for a reason. I didn't come here to play. I came here to get busy.
Do you need Cody's help?
Not me. It was we just asked for help, and, we're just part of the IE, Anybody, he's from the IE, I'm from the IE, so, we just send love back to the community, right?
It's all about love back to the community. Guys, we're going to send it back to you at the desk.
It's all about love for the community, but the people in San Bernardino certainly know how to scrap. We saw that from our last event there, and I got to think, when the bell sounds, there's going to be some serious San Bernardino bragging rights on the line between these two.
Both looked ready to go, and the beard was great call by the Schmo, but and Cody looked in phenomenal shape, looked like he was prepared, making his debut. I can't wait for that. And then a little extra, he called and said, you asked for my help, and Miguel said we asked for help for something else, so it'd be interesting to see how that plays out. If these guys both know of each other, who's in favor does that play into?
And we've seen Guzman in action before. He's coming off of a round one rear naked choke over Jabril Shaibi out of France, who came in with all kinds of kickboxing pedigree, and it was Guzman that was able to stuff that in a hurry. And so it's going to be a tall order. As Guzman is 2-0, it's going to be a tall order for Sessions coming in making his debut. That is not an easy draw in your debut fight.
That is not, but technically they're both undefeated, right? So someone's always got to go, and so we will see. I thought Cody looked super calm for his debut, and I love that, right? Seems like his camp's getting prepared and led him up to this moment.
All right, we're going to be throwing to a fun-filled video here in a second, but first, want to give a huge thanks, Razor Rob McCullough.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us here.
No, thank you.
Thoughts just really quickly on what you're doing now, how your longtime friends or fans can follow you?
At Razor OB on Instagram. I started Razor Striking System out of my gym at HB Ultimate Training Center in Huntington Beach. Just been busy, training and raising kids and being a family guy.
Love that. That's what it's all about. So thank you, Razor Rob.
Of course, thank you.
An absolute pleasure.
Thanks,
and thank you, Dustin Gutkowsk. Realize, recognize, because Dusty will be back, but he's going to get a little break. We got to hydrate. That is for sure. But we have a little history-making moment coming up. But before that, let's take a look at how some of our fighters got their nicknames.
I have a knife on my face. Scooter, my childhood name. I like scooters though, like that contrast, yeah.
The bully. This guy's my fighting style. Tell him take no shit. I'm gonna take your lunch money on the way out too.
My original nickname was the Komodo Dragon. My dad was talking to me. He was like, I'm gonna be with you. Nobody fucking liked the Komodo Dragon. So I was like, you know what? All right, cool. I guess we're sticking with the Assassin.
Yeah, downtown. Browntown was too long. It didn't run off the tongue as well. So downtown it is.
They just started calling me the trophy. It's like a saying, when you're from the hood, it's like you're a hood trophy.
Mr. Nasty. If you guys want to give me a new nickname, DM me on Instagram or something.
All right, how about that? Shedding a little light on how some of the nicknames happened. I think my favorite line there was, how'd you get the nickname Knife Face? Well, I have a knife on my face.
That was great.
So, sometimes it's just self-evident, but I have been joined by none other than the matchmaker of the Rising Stars division, Ryan Buckner, and of course, no stranger to our longtime UNF fans, the Syrian Prince. That's a nickname in your own right. Hamza Trad here, and Ryan, I think we've got some history to make.
Yeah, so Hamza is making that jump from amateur to pro. He's signing a multi-fight deal with UpNext. UpNext loves Hamza, and we're just the biggest fan of him. He's a true top prospect, and we can't wait to see him flourish with UpNext Fighting. So we are signing Hamza Trad to a multi-fight deal, and he should be making his debut very soon. But Hamza, if you want to sign this right here to make it all official.
All right, well, I got to ask you. Got to ask you first, Hamza, how do you feel? You're about to sign on the dotted line. What's it mean for you after all your fights here in UNF to sign and to make that jump to the professional ranks? How are you feeling right now? What's going through your mind?
I mean, it feels too good. I've been doing amateur for a long time, and this is like my first big step for me to step in this division. I feel I'm ready for this. Yes. I feel I'm ready for those levels.
Well, I don't doubt it. I mean, your debut was the lone loss of your career, and it's been just a rocket strapped to your back ever since. 10 straight victories, many of them here in the UNF cage, including winning championship gold. And no stranger to Commerce Casino, Ryan, when might we see the Syrian Prince make his debut as a professional?
Listen, I think we are going to see Hamza Trad fighting as a pro for UNF September 28th here at Commerce Casino. His pro debut. And if you guys have seen Hamza fight before, you know it's fireworks, you know it's electric. But I'm sure he's going to take it to a whole nother level when he does go pro. So September 28th, Hamza Trad versus to be determined, but he will be fighting on that card, so it'll be amazing.
September 28th will be here before you know it. But before that happens, there's one little piece of business to take care of.
July 5th.
Yes. It is the day after the 4th and the day before UNF 19, and it is official. Signed to a multi-fight deal here at UpNext Fighting, the Syrian Prince, Hamza Trad, who we will see make his professional debut coming up in September. But you talk about guys that can get it done in the UNF cage. You talk about Pargev Katrian. Let's take a closer look.
Pargev's explosive, fun, and entertaining. He really has it all. He's growing. He's going to be a big name in the sport.
There's bad blood between these two. They want to go some more.
Pargev is a true champion. He walks the walk and he talks the talk.
Oh, the hooks are in. The hooks are in for Katrian.
Nothing makes Pargev prouder than being the UNF champ.
He listens, he does whatever his coaching tells him to do, and it's proof in the pudding. He's just been on fire, and he's been on a roll.
I have seen this guy evolve. This guy is on another level. His grappling is second to none.
If Katrian gets a hold of you, you better be Houdini if you want to escape that body lock.
This is almost like fantasy matchmaking. A champion coming from another organization fighting one of our champions. It just doesn't happen.
Anthony Whitfield is a champion in his own right. He's a very good striker. I believe he's a good formidable challenger for Pargev, and we'll see if he's got enough to take that belt away from him.
A lot of people want to, handpick their fights, cherry-pick their fights, but with these two guys, I didn't have to worry about that once. I hope these guys want a tough challenge, and I believe that's what's going to bring explosive fireworks on July 6th.
All right, welcome back. There we took a look at that title fight, Pargev Katrian and Whitfield. And we are joined here by Chris Bruno, who will be joining us at the broadcast team tomorrow to call some fights. And I will welcome you because I got to call 17 fights tomorrow. So I'll take all the help I can get. And we'll have Dusty helping out as well. We're going to be doing some tagging in and out. But there we took a look at that title fight. Now, guys, we are right up the freeway from Disneyland, which is the happiest place on earth, known for its rides. But when you're in there with Pargev Katrian, you're going to go for a ride whether you like it or not, but it will not be the happiest place on earth because if he gets that body lock, you're going to get thrown.
Yeah, that body lock's going to send you, to the moon. That's one of the things that I love about that style of training is their throws. They get once they get those body lock underneath you, you get that leverage, you're up and going. And that's one of the things that I find really exciting about that high-level wrestling that you're going to see from this guy.
And Dusty, we saw that Steve Bash mentioned it. This is kind of like fantasy warfare, the what if, because we've got a champion from Gladiator Challenge, making his way here in Whitfield to take on Pargev, and it's all that what if. Well, we won't have to wonder after tomorrow night. But let's set the stage back to the stage itself, and Schmo with the weigh-in for this title bout.
Up next, weighing in, we have the Rising Stars Flyweight title on the line, presented by Jason Mayhem Miller. Out of the blue corner, we have Anthony Scooter Whitfield. 123.2. And his opponent, the champion, out of the red corner, we have the Armenian soldier, Pargev Katrian. $125.2.
Face forward. Respect. Only respect. Well, mutual respect here, but on paper looks to be a good one with the Rising Stars Flyweight title hanging in the balance. Let's hear from champion and challenger.
All right, champ. We want to hear from you first. What's going through your mind defending your belt here, UNF 19, here at Commerce Casino?
This very important fight for me. I need defend title. This is my first defend, and I'm ready. Good luck for my opponent tomorrow. Let's go, brother.
There it is. His first title defense. All respect out of the man. What's going through your mind right now, Scooter?
This is a great opportunity for me. I've been training real crazy like for this fight. I understand I got a tough opponent, and I'm just here to put on the best show I can.
We know he's willing and able to put on the pressure for you. How are you going to be victorious against his style tomorrow evening inside the cage?
I'm real creative, durable. You're going to have to kill me if you want to stop me. I've had a lot of people try, a lot of people fail, and I'm just here to bring that energy.
Best of luck to you tomorrow evening. Champ, we're going to end with you. You heard it. You got to kill him to stop him. When you hear that, what's going through your mind?
Kill for me?
Yeah.
No, not today, not tomorrow. No, bro. Sorry, no. This just sport. After fight, just respect for you. Thank you.
There it is. Stoic words from the champion. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Rising Stars Flyweight title on the line. Guys at the desk, back to you.
I love that response by Pargev. Kill for me? No. Not today.
Not today, not tomorrow.
No.
Yep. Wow. Those guys came in shape, man. They look good, huh? They're ready to go.
They do. They look phenomenal. Now, champion versus champion, but of course it'll be Pargev's flyweight title, Rising Stars, up for grabs. Guys, your thoughts on this one if you had to pick a winner?
I don't know. It's hard to bet against Pargev, right? I just don't think you can. What he brings to the table and his demeanor, and it's that cool, calm, collected, and I don't think he gets rattled. But on the flip side, you love Anthony's just his whole demeanor as well. I mean, it looked like he was having fun, and when you see a guy having fun and he doesn't look nervous, it's hard to bet against someone that's having fun with it. That's even mentioned having fun in the training. I got to go with the champ. He's the champ for a reason, right? And so, to me, you don't bet against the champ until he's lost it. I think he's going to take him, man.
Yeah, Pargev we've seen fight a lot, so we know him as a fighter. We know what he's going to bring to the fight. You know, whereas Whitfield's a champion in another division, in another promotion, so we don't as familiar with him what he's going to bring. But you can tell by his attitude, his demeanor, and like you said, having fun in there, right? The whole point of fighting is to have fun there and make a career for yourself. You know, and the more fun you're having in there, the more people are going to want to watch you fight.
And for Whitfield, I've seen him fight, and he is extremely powerful, and he's very aggressive, and he's a pressure fighter. The only problem is, if you get in close proximity to Pargev, you're going to find yourself locked up and taking a ride. Now, Pargev comes in 3-1. The lone loss of his career was to Israel Salazar, which was an extremely questionable decision, and it was a monkey that Pargev got off his back because he avenged that loss in a rematch. Pargev has been unstoppable ever since, and since winning the championship, I see a whole new confidence in Pargev. You saw the shades. He's carrying himself like a champion.
Yep.
You know, he just seems like a different animal since
That's
winning
why
that
you
gold.
do these amateur circuit like this, to build a career, build your confidence. Sometimes you're going to go out there and lose fights, but if you can come back and win the next one, that's when you're going to go, hey, I'm a champion and I can win in any promotion.
And guys, this is for the flyweight title. On the vast other side of the spectrum would be the heavyweight title. Now, fans, if you did not see in any of the latest Godzilla movies, don't worry, because we're going to have a real life one inside the UNF cage tomorrow.
I hope this is the last weigh-in, because these guys actually might break the scale. Seriously.
Let's head up to Schmo. This should be a spectacle.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go from flyweights to heavyweights. We have the Rising Stars heavyweight title on the line. Boy, do we have a treat for you. Coming to the scale, out of the blue corner, we have Ike Music. 255.2. There it is. And his opponent, out of the red corner, Eli Nadal. $255. We got a fight, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
Wow. Let's face each other right here.
I think we all said wow. But
Unbelievable. The irresistible force about to meet the immovable object.
I love watching heavyweights fight in UNF.
All right, Ike, I'm going to start with you, my man. You are making your debut. What is going through your mind right now? You are chiseled to the gills.
I'm excited. I'm excited to go in there and see what I can do, you know, and just try out some new waters, you know.
How do you predict yourself being victorious inside that cage tomorrow evening?
I'll just, you know, keep my distance, go in there, and clean the clock, you know.
You going to get a submission, or are you going to knock this guy out?
Well, we're going to leave that up for tomorrow. We're going to see. I'm going to surprise you.
All right, there it is. Best of luck to you tomorrow evening. Eli, your opponent's debut, he's built like a brick house. You've been in there before. What's going through your mind?
Bro, I don't know. I'm just going to step in, do my job, you know, get the belt, and go back home. That's it. I don't have a lot to say, except thank you for accepting the fight, and thank you to Black House and Ike, and that's it, man. I'm just going to do my job, go home.
How would you describe your fighting style?
How I describe my fighting style? I don't know. I'm a good striker, but I'm a complete fighter now. I was a striker at the beginning, but since I joined my gym, Marado Fighting, I'm a good wrestler, good striker, so let's go, bro. I'm just ready for tomorrow.
Two big titans put it on the line tomorrow. Best of luck to you guys tomorrow evening. Guys at the desk, back to you.
I hope that the cage has been specially reinforced for this one, guys. I mean, look at the size of these two. And Ike finds himself making his debut in a championship fight. That's just because there's just not that many monsters out there.
The dude doesn't look like he's built out of bricks. He looks like he's built out of ice blocks. Like, literally, that dude is a monster. And I love seeing heavyweights at UNF because we're so up close and personal. When guys get thrown and they get slammed, it's an earthquake, 7.2 on the Richter scale.
I just can't believe these guys cut weight to 255. So you're cutting weight to get to 255, and to see that, I just wouldn't want to be on the other end of one of those punches.
You don't want to get in there? You don't want to see what it's
that's
like
gonna
to
be
get
hard...
hit with a cinder block in the head?
Hey, what did Park say? Not today. Not tomorrow. We're not doing that. No.
I saw some pictures of Ike at Muscle Beach, and he put the muscle in Muscle Beach. The thing is, talk about being at the beach, he said he is going to traverse new waters. Obviously, he passes the eye test, but what will he bring inside the cage? And for his opponent, Nadal, he is a towering 6'3". He's a monster. You can't think that too often he comes in the small guy in a fight.
No, and that's the thing. Like, I used to love beating up big, huge jack guys with muscles. That was the thing that I loved to do. And again, in martial arts, people are always like, who do you think's going to win this fight? Dude, that guy's so jacked, he's going to kill that guy. And I'm like, no, we got to see what he's going to bring. What's his stand-up game look like? What's his transitional wrestling look like? What's his jiu-jitsu look like when the game goes to the ground? Which ultimately, a lot of times, this does. You know, you can get out there and have a nice barn burner, but goes to the ground.
And when the smoke clears, who will be standing on top of Skull Island as the heavyweight champion? That is what we will find. But when we talk about kill or be killed, that will be the mentality in what is now our main event, with Ryan the Lion Lilly and Anthony the Bully Romero. And let's take a closer look once again at our main event.
I don't think he's ever been in a boring fight. He's definitely one of UNF's fan favorite fighters.
How good does it feel to be a champion? I've always been a champion, and it's an yet.
Anthony Romero has been in 4 fights in the UNF cage, and he's gotten either knockout of the night or fight of the night in every single one.
Little souvenir action. We got a mouthpiece here, and somebody's looking for it.
That guy is on the road to the UFC. You cannot deny him.
Anthony Romero! Oh my God!
Like every bully, there's a buster out there. If you're asking me whether Ryan Lilly is the buster, I believe he's a great candidate for it.
Ryan Lilly definitely has a lot to prove. UNF gold is on the line, and I'm sure he really wants to shut everyone up and show them who he really is.
We got a hell of an exchange here.
Ryan Lilly and the Bully are going to engage in battle. From the time that bell rings, it's going to be a brawl.
All right, that was a closer look at our main event. Ryan the Lion Lilly, Anthony the Bully Romero. But a man that was scheduled to be in the main event, sui generis, Jesse Strader. Welcome.
Thank you.
You know, obviously, just when it comes to these battles with Cisco Rivera, there's been more questions than answers. Last time out, there was that accidental eye poke that caused the end of the fight. UNF decides to run it back. Now this arises. It's got to be frustrating, but we just want to hear from you and see kind of where your head is at and how you plan to switch gears. What's next for sui generis?
Oh man, yeah, it's been a roller coaster for sure, especially off of that last fight being no contest. Man, it was that I tell people all the time that was like the weirdest I've ever felt after a fight, because I mean I've never had a draw or a no contest before, and it was like, man, we got in a fight, but there's no answer, like there's no conclusion at all. So I was really hype about this this rematch, and then you know, like this fiasco that I've been dealing with fight week has been crazy. So instead of trying to sulk on that situation of just being let down of not having a fight, I'm not gonna sulk on it too much. It happens. It's an unfortunate part of the game with just all the things that can go wrong and all the things that can happen. So I'm just gonna keep moving forward, keep my eye on the prize, and keep chasing a title. I want a title. I really want a title. I really love the way the UNF belts look, so I really want that title. So we're just gonna keep moving forward and hopefully get one soon.
Well, I'm certain that UNF and George Basarmaji and the matchmaker of the professionals will do everything they can to your benefit with what you've gone through. And I think, you know, you just have a great attitude, and it's that fighter's mentality of, you know, now that you've been through a camp, you're in shape, you're ready. Are you actively looking, you know, to fill that calendar?
Yeah. You know, since I'm so, you know, I've been in camp for a while now, so I'm like, I would like to get one immediately, but, you know, things happen. I know I think UpNext not fighting till September 28th. So I'm going to try to get on that one, but if I can get one in between that would be great. You know, more experience, getting better, and, you know, but I really love that UNF belt. You know what I'm saying? It's a good-looking belt.
It's a nice belt. How do you stay, and you said something, you're like, I'm not going to sulk on it. And I think you see a lot of people that do that, the poor me, right? And it can get in your head. What did you do to not sulk on it? Was there anything that kind of went through your head?
Man, you know, just accepting it. Like, you know, things happen, things go wrong all the time. Just you know, taking a little chance, taking a little time to be like upset and be mad and just be like, dang, man, but I'm not gonna spiral down that hole, you know, because I know a lot of guys, man, something like this would happen, they're gonna go get a couple boxes of Krispy Kreme, they're gonna they're gonna pack on 20 pounds immediately, and I'm like, dude, I can't do that. I've worked too hard already to get here in this physical condition, so I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna keep my eye on the prize. Maybe I'll taper my training back just a little bit for about a week, and then kick it back into high gear.
Quick question before we get to our next weigh-in. Since we have you here, Jesse, do you have any insight in our new main event of Romero Lilly? Because Ryan the Lion Lilly is somebody that you faced off with inside the cage.
Yeah.
Caught him in that rear naked choke. Your thoughts on the Lion? Your thoughts at his shot in our main event?
Yeah, man. Ryan, tough opponent. I knew he was going to be a tough opponent when I fought him. And then Romero, I did see him fight. I seen him fight a couple of times. Dude puts on a great show. Is very active, very action-packed fighter. Ryan Lilly is too. So I think I think it's going to be a good new main event. So I don't really have a dog in the fight. I just if I have something that I want to see, is just an action-packed main event and a finish. It's got to be a finish.
I love that. If Sui Generis puts his stamp of approval on the new main event, then we all put our stamp of approval on the new main event. But we're going to go back to the stage as the Schmo is standing by.
Up next in the welterweight division, weighing in out of the blue corner, we have Carson Dohan. 169.6. And your opponent, Christopher London, out of the red corner, he's fueling up over there, rehydrated.
I don't know where he went, but he weighed in, so we're fighting tomorrow.
He didn't want to face off with you.
I guess not, but it's all good.
So we have you here right now. You just weighed in, 24 hours away from going inside that cage. What's going through your mind right now, Carson?
I'm feeling rehydrated. I'm kind of feeling yoked out, you feel me? So I'm ready to knock this kid out or whatever I have to do in there, so I'm ready.
You're undefeated. You keep getting better every single time you step foot inside that cage. So what kind of show can all the fans and watching anticipate?
I mean, if you watch any of my fights, they're very exciting, very violent, so I think it's going to be the same this fight. So that's what I do.
Any new submission tricks you've been working on this camp?
I've been a submission threat, so I don't have any new ones.
No new tricks?
Nope, no new tricks.
Just new finishes?
But I got some fucking heavy hands, so let's go.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. The man who's got heavy hands. You got something to say?
Yeah. I just want to shout out my sponsors for this fight. I got Raw Farm. They sponsored me this fight. TRTKD.com. I got Oasis Wellness, Oak Forest Recovery, Mad Rose, and Fuck Trucks on fuckfridge.com.
No shortage of support for this man right here. Best of luck to you tomorrow evening. Guys at the desk, back to you.
All right. Thank you, Schmo. And there we heard from Carson Dohan, as we have mentioned, don't mess with the Dohan. And that is one of those fights that we really circled. And Schmo asked him about it being a submission threat. And he is, as we're gonna take a look at some action of Dohan in the cage. He's sporting a pretty sweet hairstyle today. But this guy is dangerous everywhere. Dangerous striker. There you see that knee bar. That was a round 1 submission victory. So he can send you on a one-way trip to Tap Town, but he can turn out your lights as well because he has a round 2 TKO victory as well. He's got all the intangibles, but he's gonna again be facing an opponent that is 6 inches taller.
Yeah.
And that's gonna pose some challenges, you gotta believe. But
and you saw, London's not here for the face-off, and I don't know, Dohan looked like he was kind of taking that personal. I don't think he said it, but I don't know. You could just, his demeanor was, you don't have the respect for the face-off. That could play a big factor. He looked like he wasn't emotionally bothered by it, but he was bulletin board material a little bit. So I don't know. I think it was a mind game by London. We know he likes to play, and will this work into his advantage or disadvantage? Because you be careful who you play mind games with, right? Because there are people out there that you play those mind games with. They're like, okay, bulletin board material, here we go.
Well, the weigh-ins can bring you curveballs, and somebody that's going to know that more than anybody right now is our guest, David Marquez. Now, David, welcome here to the live weigh-in show. It's a pleasure to have you, and you know better than anybody right now how things can take a turn on a dime. Your opponent, Todd Stafford, was not allowed by the commission, medically cleared to fight because of a car accident that he endured. What were you told in terms of the reasoning for Stafford having to drop out of this?
Basically, kind of the same thing that you guys were already saying. They were telling me that his medicals weren't clearing. He was already having issues making weight already. I think he came in like 5 pounds over our designated weight as well too. So that coupled with, I think, an incident that he might have had a while back ago. He had a car incident. So I really don't know. They just said medicals plus his weight. Fight fell through, and yeah, I'm still here. I'm still looking to fight. I'm excited for anything and everything always, but yeah, this was definitely a downer, and like you said, a curveball for sure.
So, I mean, let's talk about it. You go through your camp. You're ready to make weight. You do all the things you have to do, and then this happens. You know, just tell us kind of how frustrating is that as a fighter? It's kind of like putting in all the work and then not collecting your paycheck. You know, so, you know, where do you go from here? How do you switch gears? What are your coaches telling you? Obviously, you're in fight shape.
Oh, yeah.
You know, what's on the horizon for David Marquez?
You know, keep sharpening the blade. I'm never one to, you know, look at something like a complete loss. There's always going to be a silver lining in something, so just continue to look for that. And yeah, I'm already a kickboxing and Muay Thai champion holder, so just looking to continue on that. I think there's a fight lined up for me probably like next month, so gonna go defend that and just continue to stay active. In September, I think they have another UNF card, and I'm looking to bang out on that one, so I'll be back.
So tell us about that. What, you know, was kickboxing and Muay Thai kind of your primary style and you made the move to MMA, or did you start training everything all together? What was your journey to the sport?
My journey, honestly, I originally started trying to get into MMA, but a lot of things happened, fell through, fights fell through at the beginning, and then COVID hit, and then when the fight scene kicked back up, it was kickboxing and Muay Thai that was just so easy to get into. So, you know, I was already a striker at that time, had a little bit of a wrestling background, but went right into striking, and that took off for me. Kickboxing and Muay Thai, like I said, I claimed some belts there, and the inevitable goal was to be here in the cage. So, yeah, this is where I'm looking to go. But, yeah, it kind of started off that way. But MMA was the complete goal.
And if you want to talk about switching gears, talk about this. So you had an opponent drop out on the weigh-ins. One of the fighters we're about to take a look at, Sahar Gueda, was at our show in San Bernardino. He was in the cage. His opponent, making his way to the cage, twisted his ankle and
wow.
had to, you know, got looked over by the doctor. So in other words, shit does in fact happen. There's George Basarmajian, our professional matchmaker, Chris Buckner, telling him what happened. I mean, you just can't make this stuff up.
That's
Anything
wild. That's
truly
wild.
can happen in the sport of MMA. So it can always be worse.
Anything could happen, and that's why I just told him, you know, my opponent, I just told him, hey man, you know, I'm just looking to get a fight as soon as possible, and you know, I'm just glad that, you know, everything was taken care of on your end. I just want you to be healthy and be ready for a fight whenever, you know. I don't wish any ill will against the guy, but at the end of the day, you know, I'm a warrior, I'm a fighter. I wish I could fight today, and I just let me bang, bro.
Yeah. Well, look, that's a great attitude to have. Hopefully nobody else falls out in the ring, but maybe if you're ready, we can get you in there. So that does happen, right?
If somebody else falls out, dude, put me in there.
Yeah,
Whatever weight, I'm ready.
I love that.
Well, and hopefully Sahar Gueda will in fact fight this time once he get into the cage, as hopefully nothing happens to his opponent Navaro on his way out there, as we take a closer look at the opposition. In Brian Navaro, and again, you know, for Gueda, he's got to be was chomping at the bit. I mean, can you imagine sitting there bouncing around the cage? You got your people in the house cheering, and the guy slips on the banana peel on the way out there on the ramp. But Gueda will in fact have a fight here, and if this footage is any indication, Dusty, Gueda's in for one heck of a fight.
He's definitely in. Yeah, that guy's a real deal, right? And so. Might be a good thing if you slip on a banana peel, right?
Well, hopefully neither of our fighters doing this one, as we head back to the Schmo and the scale.
Thanks, guys. Coming to the scale next, we have a bout that's going to be in our lightweight division. From the blue corner, we have Sahar Gueda. 154. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, we have Brian Navaro. 154. Gentlemen, face each other right here.
Hell yeah.
Look ready for
You
business.
heard it, Brian. He said it's going to be fun.
Oh, of course. Fuck yeah.
Seems like a nice guy. Doesn't know what it took for me to get here. The journey's been wild, so losing's not an option. It's gonna be a fun ride.
Let's do it.
You feel like your opponent's going to show up in the cage?
Of course. But I'm gonna show up too. Hell yeah.
You better. I believe he will. I believe he will. I can see it. I can see it.
Love the confidence out of you two. Face forward. And we got a scrap, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, we do
Back to
in
you.
fact have a scrap as the Minotaur Sahar Gueda got left waiting last time. He's not going to have to wait for long this time. Comes in looking for the first victory of his career, and that's why he was really chomping at the bit as well last time. But Navaro comes in with a victory under his belt and a UNF victory is that over the likes of Axel Conrad by split decision. So both guys hungry, both guys very young in their careers, but we'll see if Gueda he's got to have a chip on his shoulder from that last experience, the size of an entire variety box of chips.
Yeah, I mean, I just can't imagine you're ready for your moment and you're literally in the cage. I've never even heard of that, let alone seen that. And so, credit to him. You hear this theme of people that are having these, these rough times, getting the fight going, but their mindset is the key, right? The mindset of not dwelling on it and not letting it consume you, because you can't make that stuff up. Who would have thought you'd sprain an ankle on the way to the ring, right? And there's neither fighter did anything wrong, so having that mindset and wanting to just keep coming forward, I think is going to pay huge in this fight. And I mean, at least he did at least get to the octagon last time, so he was in there ready to go. Just the fight didn't happen.
Yeah, and Navaro will bring the fight to him for certain. Navaro trying to keep that undefeated record going. Gueda trying to get that first victory. Now, speaking of someone who has fought inside the UNF cage, we're going to take a look at some clips on Fedya Chobanian, who returns to action for UpNext fighting here at UNF 15. He will take on Gaziev. And again, just look at the fluidity of motion on the mat here by Fedya Chobanian. He is a dangerous, dangerous threat. This guy, he's the proverbial quicksand. The more you struggle with him, the deeper it gets.
Yeah, just beautiful transitions. I mean, he just finding his way. He just, whatever you gave him, he went with it and just reversed it. It was incredible.
And we're going to head up to the stage and set the stage for this battle.
Ladies and gentlemen, up next, we have a catchweight bout out of the blue corner. We have David Hajiev. 159.2. And his opponent fighting out of the red corner, we have Fedya Chobanian. 159.6. Gentlemen, face each other right here in the middle.
Chobanian, Gaziev going to battle tomorrow at UNF 19.
Face forward.
Well, these guys are locked in and ready to go. Form. They're locked in. They don't want to.
They are literally locked in here.
Who's going to blink first?
Staring contest, you and me.
There it is. You blink first, you're talking first. Love the respect. My man, what are you expecting to see out of your own performance tomorrow evening inside the cage?
First of all, I want to thank my God and Savior, Jesus Christ. I'm very happy to be here, guys. All glory to Jesus. I have nothing to say. This is a competition, nothing more. Competition, and I've been competing all my life. This is what I do. Champ shit only, baby. Let's go with this.
There it is. Shout out to the great Tony Ferguson. Best of luck to you. All respect. It's a competition, but what do you expect out of yourself in this competition tomorrow evening?
Hey, I would say the same thing. All glory to Jesus Christ. And I'm grateful I get to fight after a year of not being able to fight. And yeah, I'm ready to fight tomorrow.
We're ready to watch you fight. Looking forward to it. Guys, back to you.
All right, thank you, Schmo. There you see it. Gaziev, Chobanian. Chobanian has had great success here in the UNF cage, and you got Gotchiev trying to keep that undefeated record going. We are joined here by professional matchmaker George Basramajian. Now, George, have you been getting any sleep whatsoever with the topsy-turvy landscape of this card?
I honestly have not. Just been getting calls from 5 a.m. to midnight, so, but it's all in the day's work. It's fun. We enjoy it.
What happens when, unfortunate circumstances, man? What do you go through just so people know to put on a show? Because obviously we get to see the end result, right? We get to see this beautiful promotion. We get to see these great fights. We get to see all this, and we think, oh, there's just 17 fights. It's just easy. They just showed up. What goes on your mind when you get that 5 a.m. call that something's going on and happened? What do you first? How do you react to that, and then what do you do?
It's it's a very natural reaction. Now I've been doing this for the past 17 years, so there's a solution to all problems, and so far we haven't had any trouble, finding solutions.
Love that.
So obviously, the original main event of Cisco Rivera and Sui Generis, Jesse Strader, we all know what happened to that by now, but let's talk about your thoughts on the new main event of Ryan the Lion Lilly, Anthony the Bully Romero, two guys that have some history here in UNF. Your thoughts on what we're going to see in that main event?
I mean, this is a fight that's been in the making for a while now. They've been calling each other out, really calling each other out. So it's gonna be fireworks. And again, I think it's gonna be a great fight. Fans are gonna win.
Fans will indeed win, and that one, there was huge tension at the weigh-in as we take a look at Carson Dohan. Again, you're seeing the sights, the sounds of the weigh-in process here. Fighters getting in that cage, getting comfortable before tomorrow, feeling that mat, getting loose. And we are going to be heading back to the stage momentarily, but we're going to talk about one of our opponents in that fight, and Winland is a guy that we're going to see here momentarily that is 2-0. But of course, he had that incredible start as we take a look. He's a long, lanky fighter, little bit older, experienced fighter, and you see some of his groundwork here, which I think is probably underestimated.
Yeah, we're missing that highlight, the real knockout of his.
If you're going to show,
if
you're going to show,
can we play the highlight?
Where's the highlight?
Come on.
Let's. I told they have it racked up here.
Here we
Jonathan Winland, El Chief. This is why he is El Chief. He was taking on the highly touted Khalil Pearson, and we're going to take a look back. Oh,
there it is.
Sleeping, standing up. Wow.
I think we're going to see it again. Just the reaction to that knockout. Did you guys ever play Mike Tyson's Punch-Out as a kid? that looked like one of those characters would go
Take
down.
a look, cage side. I just literally stood up and
It's an incredible counter right
wow.
hand. And you could see when
he reactions, your hands up.
When he threw it blind, guys. Jonathan Winland was looking down and just had that distance and say good night. Nice. My goodness. But then from there, Winland, would get a decision victory over Axel Conrad. So we've seen a lot of these guys like Kester Abad who had that viral knockout. Yeah. Is it sometimes tough when you have all those eyes on you and people are expecting that time in, time out? Is it tough as a fighter to follow that up, or to feel like you don't have to necessarily follow that up?
I think as a fighter, your fans, especially your fans, are like, oh my God, you're going to do that same thing, right? You're like, I'm going to try, but you fight different opponents in different ways, and the knockout comes as it comes. But I think your coaches are now telling you you're going to go and knock them out in half a round. They prepare you for grueling 3-round fight. If the knockout or submission comes, then it's great.
Well, we'll see if El Chief can catch lightning in a bottle again tomorrow at UNF 19 as we head back to the Schmo and the stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, up next, we have a welterweight bout in the blue corner. We have Thomas Olive Smith. $165.6. And his opponent, weighing in out of the red corner, we have Jonathan El Chief Winland. 171. Gentlemen, face each other right here. No touching. Face forward.
Setting the stage for this welterweight
All these guys are business, all business right here. We'll start with you, Jonathan. What's going through your mind right now?
Nothing. Ready for tomorrow.
It's ready for tomorrow. How you feeling?
Same.
How are you going to be victorious tomorrow?
Prepared for war.
Prepared for war. He's prepared for war.
Same here.
Same here. Can we get a final prediction out of you?
Hand raised by any means necessary.
Any means necessary.
Same here.
Same here. Men of many words. Can't wait for this banger. Shake hands. Todd, back to you.
I'm going to win. Ditto. That's pretty much what we just saw there, and it's anybody's ball game, but we'll see if Jonathan Winland, El Chief, can keep that momentum going again, 2-0, including that viral right-hand knockout. But we are joined by somebody who has been a part of many of the biggest moments in UNF history, one of our cage announcers, Rain Cruz. And we had Chad Fishburne out here earlier, so it's only fitting that you get equal billing and equal time, as you guys will be splitting up the fights tomorrow. What are you looking forward to seeing after seeing these fighters weigh in? What are some of the things, fighters or fights you're looking forward to seeing at UNF 19?
Oh, I'm glad that you mentioned that I have been a part of like the biggest moments of UNF history, because we had Jonathan Winland up there earlier. He made his debut here last year on the same night that I made my debut at UpNext Fighting.
Oh, wow.
And I actually mentioned that to him earlier. I said, man, we're back at the very special place for both of us, because
And in honor of that, Rain, as we'll take a look, keep telling us about that experience. But if you mention that knockout, we need to see it again. Roll that footage.
Oh yeah,
It never gets old.
I remember this fight because I announced this, and oh boy, when I saw that knockout, I was like, oh God, now I have to head back in the cage. Oh God.
Was this the best knockout you've seen?
And you know, if this was your debut, you know, what was your experience like? Just experience this type of electricity on your very first night with UNF.
Oh God, I fell in love with it, man. Like the energy and just like, you know, that adrenaline rush, right? You're watching a fight, and the next thing you know, oh God, it's over. What do we do? What do we do? And then, you know, you try to run back to the cage, you know, obviously announce the winner. But moments like this made me fall in love with MMA. Because like this action, man, this is like, oh God, you don't plan for this stuff. You know, it's like a movie script, but then again, we didn't write it. Yeah. You know, it just happened. So I'm glad that he's fighting tomorrow, and I get to, you know, be here as well. Chad is announcing his bout, but man, I am so happy, you know, to get to see Jonathan Winland. And I know we have a bunch of like amateur fighters who will be making their debut fights tomorrow. And I'm usually excited for that because I love it when I announce fighters on their debut bouts, because for me, that kind of sets like a standard for them, you know? And I feel like I want to give them that moment where, oh God, I heard my name, I made it, man. This is my dream come true.
Well, the cage announcers will often, you know, turn and be right in the fighter's face and give it all you got, you know, just to lift that fighter up, to announce their name, to announce their accolades. Do you know, sometimes do you see some wide eyes for fighters making a debut? Do you see fire? Do you ever see just a burning fire in somebody's soul and maybe say, I'm going to take a step back or two?
Oh God, you know, sometimes you'd see fighters, they won't even look at me, you know, because they're like just locked in their zone. And there are some fighters who would look at me, we're like making eye contact, and it's like, yeah, feel the energy, man. I'm getting you hyped. Let's go. And there are some who would actually, this happened twice already. Some of them offered me a fist bump, which the first time was with Gianni Vasquez.
Kryptonita.
Yeah, Johnny Kryptonita Vasquez at his title defense at UNF 17. It was amazing. The first time he offered it, well, the first time that he offered the fist bump, we were too polite. We just did this, Todd, just like this. No, we didn't even like touch. No, we're just like this.
Magnets.
And then the second time I announced him, he actually walked up to me, he held it up, and I was like, okay, we're doing this.
Love that. What got you into announcing and then MMA announcing? How did you get into that?
Yeah, so for me, I started with ring announcing at wrestling events. I'm a big fan of professional wrestling, so to me, I knew I wasn't athletic enough to be a wrestler. So I was like, what else can I do? And somehow, I went to this one event and someone told me, hey, we don't have a ring announcer. And I said, hey, can I try?
Give me the
Try? Yeah. And ever since then, I've been ring announcing, and I got to a point where I was like, you know what? I want to try something else. I want to try MMA, and I am very, very fortunate that I got in with UpNext Fighting because UNF made me fall in love with MMA, the experience, being able to announce the fighters, man, and help them feel like this is a dream come true moment for me. I feel like I feel like I found my purpose.
And there's more challenges. I mean, with pro wrestling, it's by pinfall, submission, count out, disqualification. Here you got decisions, they're split, they're unanimous. You're doing tabulating numbers.
Yeah.
There's a lot to it. But speaking of, there's a lot to the fighters that are going to be stepping into the cage, and we're going to head back to the Schmo and the stage.
Up next in the welterweight division, weighing in out of the blue corner, we have Kevin Chose. 170 pounds. And his opponent, out of the red corner, we have Steven Chavez. 172. Gentlemen, face each other right here in the center. No touching. Come on in, my man.
Taking a look. There's been a lot of ice water running through veins here.
Hey, how's it going? My name is Chavez, the bank. It's a pleasure and honor to be here.
The bank's open on Saturdays.
Yeah, we're open 24 hours. We travel worldwide.
Never closes on a Sunday. How we doing, my man?
Trying to figure out who asked them to turn the AC off. I think it was Ryan.
They just want to see you sweat. They want to see those abs, those washboard abs. Yeah. Final thoughts before we see you guys dance inside that cage.
Type shit.
There it is.
We're going to get some drinks after.
There it is. I love the respect. What are you going to get them to drink?
Whatever we both get fucked up at.
Okay. All right. We'll keep it civil. Milk.
Milk. Almond milk.
Always milk. All right, guys, we love the fun, but we love the dance. There it is. Guys, back to you.
Welterweight battle, and both these guys have the ability to turn out your lights in a hurry. Both have quick finishes, and I was watching some footage on Steven Chavez. He's 2-1, but he's got that kind of bar fight mentality. He will eat 5 shots to deliver one,
Scrapper.
But the one can get it done.
Yeah, man, total scrapper. And you said ice water in the veins for everyone, and it seemed like that, right? Ice water in the veins. But I love today there was so much. I don't know if you say tension or passion. The Schmo had to tell everyone, no touching, right? It had to say between because it felt like, and when you're ready for a fight, but it seemed like everybody that showed up today was ready for a fight. You could just feel it, the energy in the air. Obviously, there's a lot surrounding it, 4th of July. There's been a lot of, turmoil, a lot of fights that, there's been things happen, but everybody's here, everybody's ready to go, and you can see that. I know we've talked about a few fights, but after watching this weigh-in and hearing from these fighters, I don't think there's not a fight I'm not excited to watch tomorrow.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, everybody seems ready. Everybody seems mentally prepared. They're not distracted. They are laser focused, cool, calm, and collected. Some guys hot under the collar as well, though, because tempers will fly tomorrow in the cage. But let's talk about we talked about Chavez. Let's talk about Kevin Chose. Comes in at perfect 2-0, including a 30-second round 1 knockout over Bobby Newman. That was at UNF Rising Stars. So here's a guy that can get it done. They can both turn your lights out in a hurry. That's going to be another exciting fight. And, and think of what we saw today. You had Mayhem Miller here. You had Razor Rob McCullough here. some of the greats in the sport. And that's what I love about UNF. You know, the doors are open for some of these great ambassadors that have been there, done that, to teach the rising stars of tomorrow. And we're going to see established veterans like Ryan the Lion Lilly making his 23rd professional fight in our main event.
Yeah.
But you really see the full spectrum of MMA here at UpNext. That's what makes it just such, a great proving ground for the sport.
And it's only growing, right? I've been so thankful to be able to attend so many UpNext events and be a part of this, and just not only watching the fighters grow, watching the organization grow, and to me it just keeps getting better and better and better. And I'm just thankful to be a part of this and to watch these fighters, because you're seeing, you're seeing an organization that takes care of the fighters just even before. It's about the fighters, right? And giving them a place to come in and providing the guidance of veterans in the game, right? I think that's something that you don't speak to enough. When you watch how much, you said the mental stability, they were mentally prepared, that's a big part of it. And so having those veterans that have been through that to say, hey, watch out for this, watch out for that, that can play a huge role, not only early in your career, but late in your career as well.
Yeah, and we've had Josh Barnett. You got guys like Chris the Crippler Lieben reffing for CSAC. I mean, it's everywhere. Frank Trigg. I mean, just greats in the sport. They continue to give back to the sport, and referees being in there that have done it, that have been there, that have fought, they know what to look for. They know how to keep the fighters safe, and that's so important as well. But the Schmo is standing by with an interview.
Thanks, guys. I got David Marquez and I got Joshua Brown right here. Both your opponents fell out, but you guys are here. Just to close the show, David, what's going through your mind right now?
Man, it sucks that my fight fell through, but I'm a warrior, and the same thing that I always say is, just let me bang, bro. I just want to fight, so I'm here. I'm always ready to fight. That's it.
You're not going to get out of shape. You're not going to be eating Krispy Kremes or anything bad. You're going to be ready to go just in case something happens and they call your name?
Krispy Kreme sounds good, but I got to keep these washboard abs up and stuff like that, and I like to stay in shape. I like to stay ready for a fight, so that's probably not going to happen. Ready for whatever.
We appreciate your positive attitude. Everything happens, could happen in the fight game, and obviously something happened to your opponent, so here you are.
Yeah, man. I'm just a positive guy no matter what. I just hope the best for him. I told him, hey, man, just get healthy and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, like I said, I'm a warrior. I want to fight. I want to bang. So you'll see me in here soon, next time.
We can't wait to see you bang here soon, sometime soon. All right, Josh, you couldn't wear the camo shorts tomorrow evening. Sorry about your opponent falling out.
It happens. It's part of the game we play. But I'm very grateful. Ryan tried really hard to try to make something happen the last few days. And that's all that matters to me, that the promotion tried. I love UNF. Amazing show. But let me say something to you, Isaac. I'm here and I'm ready. Where are you? You're not here. Let's go!
Calling out Isaac Enriquez. We like it. Taking the time to shine on the mic.
Sir. Yes, sir. Hey, all respect to him, but I want to fight him really bad. He wants to fight me. Get healthy. Be ready.
And when? How soon?
September 28th, baby. The next card. Let's do this. I'm right here.
September 28th. He's making his mark. Do you want a final mark?
Yeah, man. September 28th. This is supposed to be a title eliminator, so whoever wins that Pargev fight and stuff like that, I'll get my feet wet, and that's who I want next. I want the title, so let's get it.
There you have it, folks. These guys are making their call-outs. Todd, take us home.
All right. Thank you, Schmo. And there's two guys that have to, unfortunately, be a little bit patient, as it's a topsy-turvy world here in the world of mixed martial arts, and things can happen even despite the best efforts of our matchmakers. But UNF 19 will happen tomorrow night. 17 big fights, 3 Rising Stars title fights, including that massive mega heavyweight clash that I can't wait to see. That it's going to look like it should be two kaiju fighting on the streets of Tokyo, but it's going to be here at Commerce Casino. And of course, our main event, Ryan the Lion Lilly making his 23rd professional appearance inside the cage, taking on Anthony the Bully Romero, who was all kinds of fired up, saying he's going to retire the Lion. That remains to be seen. But Dustin, your just thoughts really quickly after what we saw on the weigh-ins and what you're looking forward to tomorrow night.
The same. I mean, obviously the main event and the heavyweights. I just feel like that's going to be a banger, right? I love watching the heavyweights fight. It's always super exciting, and you felt that they were both ready to go, and I think that could be a vicious knockout. Talked about the Conrad fight. I mean, you got guys like Windland on that have had already, storybook highlight knockouts, and so to me, it's I loved, and I said it earlier, but just all the guys seemed prepared. They all seemed ready. And I think, again, it goes back to up next. The more these guys are a part of this, the cool, calm demeanor starts to take place. And so how many people are rattled on the big stage and when the lights come on, and you're seeing people almost used to it now. And so I think you're just going to get better and better fights. And you're seeing it eager. You just saw it with, unfortunately, 2 guys that are going to have to be patient, right? But they're eager. You didn't see any negative attitude. You didn't see any throwing a fit. They're ready to go. They're calling out, let's go in September. Let's do it again. And I think now you're seeing guys wanting to prove themselves that they deserve to be on the card and they want to be a part of it. And so they got to go out there and put on a show. And I think for us as fans, we're the ones that are going to be the real winners when we get to watch tomorrow night, because you're going to watch 17 different bouts with 34 fighters, all looking to prove themselves, all looking to prove something, and we get to watch it firsthand.
And again, it's just been part of this holiday weekend, 4th of July weekend. We've got plenty of leftover fireworks. And so the question is, who is going to be shining bright like rocket's red glare, and who will be the victim of Twilight's last beating? I've got Dustin here with Realize, Recognize, again, just overseeing this whole live weigh-in for the Schmo, for Mayhem Miller, Razor Rob McCullough, all our other special guests that made this such a special afternoon. Tomorrow will even be more of a special night. But we talked about that some fighters show that cool, calm, collected demeanor, have patience. Some guys, though, that fight in the UNF cage don't have patience. They don't want to see it go to the hands of the judges. And that's how we're going to wrap this thing up, with some furious finishes.